go to a teacher, it's only going to get worse.
Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. Your leader in sports in the Inland Empire. Now, here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
It's finally here. It's draft day, and we're going to break it down on the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Jeff Gorham, Greg Holla. I am simply Pep Fernandez. Jeff, this is a real treat. Probably my favorite show of all time. Tracy Murray's back in the house. All 3 hours, right? We're not going to let him go. We've locked the door. He's stuck here.
He is not leaving. We're going to get the gist of the draft. We're going to get the insights of being a player, being a coach, and being one of the best shooters of all time. He's going to help us break down as the picks come down starting at 4 o'clock today.
I've got a couple burning questions I have for Tracy because nobody knows basketball like Tracy.
No one!
My first question is, you don't have to answer it right now. You can think about it. But what lucky team's going to get LiAngelo Ball?
Ah! I have a bet with somebody. I have a bet with Steve Kono, the guy that's not here. Our little guy that's not here. Remember, our wrestling fan. He thinks that Jello Ball is going to get drafted, and I said if he gets drafted, I will drink soup out of a shoe.
Soup.
I will drink soup out of a shoe if he gets drafted. And there's no way in hell he's going to get drafted first.
I think you're going to be safe with that.
Yes, I knew it. Kono, you'll be drinking shoe soup tomorrow, buddy.
We're going to do it live on the air, right?
Yeah, he's going to be drinking shoe
Yeah, you
soup.
got to put that online.
That's going to go viral. Who's that little guy drinking shoe soup?
Little guy.
That's Kono. He's sporting the middle ball.
Yeah, he's not even here today. He's out at one of those like headbanger concerts.
The Vans Warped Tour.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that kind of music.
He's a rap, hip-hop guy. He likes the X Games. He likes all those things.
He's a weirdo. Straight weirdo.
Versatility at the best.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a rocker. He thinks he knows rap, but he does know everything about wrestling. But he's still going to drink soup out of a shoe tomorrow.
Looks like Rey Mysterio, but he's a rocker. We've got a lot to get to on this show, and it's all brought to you by our good friends at Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You can spoil yourself and your car every 3,000 or 5,000 miles. You guys know the drill. You want to keep your car going strong out there. A little traffic update, if I can be the traffic guy on the show. Apparently there's a big accident in the Temecula area on the 15. They closed it down. Uh-oh. Nasty down there. But, again, if you're coming up that way, Alessandro Boulevard right there on the 215. That's where Spoiled's at. Pop in there. Let the traffic clear out. Get your oil changed.
Yeah, I'm going to just say this. I just came from Temecula. I hope I wasn't the cause of that accident. Because I called Pep, and I was struggling. I was like, I think I'm going to be late to the show. I've never been late. And I showed up at 2:30. Tracy pulls up right next to me. It almost runs me over in the parking lot. But, man, I hope I wasn't the cause of that driving like a maniac.
I don't know. I think it was a big rig. I don't know the details. All I know is the 15 was closed. It was a mess.
Jeff cut off the big rig.
Jeff, was that you?
It was me. I had
your minivan?
I have a minivan today. My Jeep is in the shop. Wife had to pick up the Jeep. I have no Jeep. I'm driving the minivan.
Tracy doesn't strike me as a minivan guy.
No. Just saw the car he pulled up in. I said, that's not
Probably
a
not a minivan, was it?
Not a minivan. Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about the NBA draft over the course of the next 3 hours. It starts at shortly after 4 o'clock. So we'll see the picks roll in. We'll analyze them. We'll break it down. We're going to talk a lot about the Lakers here, a lot about Kawhi, a lot about how this might affect LeBron James going forward, if anyone's traded or trades go down tonight. Tracy, when you look at the guys in this draft, the draft as a whole, there's some names in there that I would say are kind of household names, guys we've gotten to know over the course of a college basketball season or two. But when you look at the draft and the talent pool as a whole, is this a good draft? Is there a lot of talent in this draft?
I think it's top heavy. I think there's a lot of elements of the unknown in this draft. From, let's say, 15 on down, you don't know what you're going to get, what they're bringing to the table, how they're going to fit with your team. But from 15 on up, that's where, it's pretty loaded up that way. You know what you're getting. They've been all over your TV all year. And you even got one stud coming across the pond to come over here and join the NBA this year. So I think top 15 picks are going to be pretty much as expected on what a team needs. But after that, it's going to be, okay, who's next? I don't know who's going to be next.
Because in all honesty, if let's say you're a second-round pick, there's only two rounds, right, in the NBA draft now. If you're a second-round pick, you're almost kind of borderline to even make the team, right, at this point.
Right.
Like the first rounder's pretty much a done deal. You're going to be on the team. But, yeah, a second-rounder might be, D-League or G-League as they call it now. Like that's kind of on the fringe, isn't it?
Even the first rounders, I mean, if you're not a lottery pick, you're going to spend some time in the G League because if you're not ready immediately to go, you're going to go down there and get some reps. But I think if you're at the top, of course, you know, you're going to be playing. You're going to be in uniform every game, on the floor, thrown into the fire. Everybody else is going to spend some time in.
I love the draft, whether it's NBA draft, NFL draft. Everyone's excited. Everyone feels like this sense of optimism, like, hey, my team's back in this. I'm a Sacramento Kings fan. Tracy, here's our starting five right now. You ready for this? Our three guards, Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Hey, he's not bad. Not bad.
De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield. That's actually not three bad guards. Our front court, Zach Randolph and Willie Cauley-Stein. Like, even as a Kings fan, I'm like, man, if we get Marvin Bagley, all right, that might get us going in the right direction a little bit.
And Zach is free, so you can get Bagley in there to go
right away.
Cauley-Stein, and you have a heck of an athletic inside core. You know, I mean, you got rim protection galore between the two of those guys. They're both very mobile. They can switch out on pick and rolls and guard people. Offensively, you got an athletic guy going to the rim with Cauley-Stein. Just throw it up there, he'll go get it. And Bagley can step out to about 3-point range, and he can play the pick and pop guy.
See, all of a sudden, I love the Kings again. I'm like, you know what? That sounds like a pretty good team.
Oh, you can't go.
They're still young though.
Yeah, and you can only go up. You only won 27 wins last year, 27-55. But
we were lucky to finish that.
Hey, if you get above 30, then you're a young team on the rise.
Right.
Much like the Lakers. Lakers had what? They were 35-47 this year with young guys and really no superstars, no guys that stood out. And you said, hey, that guy is going to take us to the next level. So maybe you have some hope as a Kings fan.
The Kings have the number 2 pick. Phoenix has number 1. It all points to the big man from Arizona. Ayton's going to go. It looks like number 1. We're going to find out probably in about an hour or so, live here on the show. The latest on Kawhi Leonard. Here's the deal. So we all knew he came out to San Diego. He met face-to-face with Greg Popovich, the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. By several accounts and different media outlets, it sounds like the meeting went pretty much how we thought it was going to go. Kawhi Leonard does not want to be a Spur. And the Spurs said, okay, that's fine, but we're not going to make a deal with the Lakers. That's kind of what we learned. Are you shocked by that, Tracy? I mean, because that's kind of what we saw.
I'm not shocked by that. San Antonio and the Lakers have somewhat of a rivalry. So Popovich is not going to make the Lakers better. So what's going to happen is whoever he is traded to better have a trade in mind with the Lakers if this is going to work, because he's going to go to some team and only be there for a year and end up with LA anyway.
That's interesting. A team, make a trade with a team, let's say Eastern Conference team, and they know behind the scenes, behind closed doors, hey, after we get Kawhi, now we're going to make the move to try to get him to LA like he wants. And what do we want in return? Because again, Kawhi Leonard's a huge name. You're going to get a lot of value. You're going to get something good in return.
Right. And the Lakers have a lot of good young talent. It depends on what direction you want to go in. You want to go with veterans, then you might look elsewhere. If you want to go with young players, then you're going to look at the Lakers or Boston or something like that, because they have some really good young people.
Now, you were involved with the Lakers a couple of years as their shooting coach, and looking at this young talent, and you look at the guys they could possibly get, Paul George, and let's go backwards. So we're going to go Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron James. Do you sell the house to win next year? Do you sell everybody just to get those three guys and try to bring in some of those veteran minimum exceptions, guys that want to come maybe for a championship?
I wouldn't sell the whole house, but I would get a couple of guys that can lead this young generation, because we've been talking about it amongst ourselves with the prodigy coaches.
Yeah.
We've been noticing just in basketball, period, where are your leaders? And remember back in the day, the captain wasn't necessarily your best player.
No.
It was whoever was the strong leader on the team that can lead the team.
Yep.
I think there's a problem sometimes with teams that are led by the best player, because who's there to hold them accountable? No one. So if there's a guy on the team, like with Golden State, Draymond holds all of those guys accountable. Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Not the
because
most
he's
talented.
not the best player on the team. And then who's second in line to hold him? It's still not the top three. It's Iguodala.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
When you have guys that's been there and done that, and even David West has jumped in there and held a couple guys accountable. When you have guys like that can lead you in the right direction, now your team's going in the right direction. So the Lakers right now currently have no leaders. they need somebody that's going to lead them. And yes, LeBron's a great leader and he's a great player, but you need another guy riding with him that's going to be able to hold LeBron accountable too. So who are you going to get? Are you going to get a guy, maybe Paul George can be that guy. Maybe he can be like, hey, man, let's get this thing going in the right direction and hold him accountable.
Do you think the Lakers front office, Magic Johnson, really being the guy, the voice of the Lakers, do you think there was a problem when Lonzo came in that he appointed him to be the leader of the team when he really wasn't, he hadn't played yet? We didn't see what kind of an NBA player he is. Do you think that was a big problem when you automatically anointed Lonzo Ball the leader of the Lakers?
I don't think it's a problem. I think Magic is thinking from a point guard point of view. Most point guards are the coach on the floor.
Yeah.
The natural leader. But Lonzo don't have that natural leader, I'm going to lead this team, and he's loud and boisterous, and he's directing traffic like Magic did.
Fighting guys if they're getting out of line.
Right. He doesn't have that personality. So when you look at maybe he thought he had it in because of LeVar. But that's why LeVar is the way he is, because his kids aren't that way. His kids are now Melo, on the other hand. He's more like LeVar. He's your leader. He's your vocal dude. He's gonna, he seems like a natural leader to me. The rest of the guys, Lonzo will lead by example. Jello's quiet. Lonzo's quiet. So LeVar's got to be that leader to lead the family in the right direction. Most fathers are, but in this situation, when you have a bunch of quiet kids, somebody's got to step up and be that voice for them. So that's what Magic probably thought with Lonzo, that he can pull that out of him because of his dad, But, when you have the characteristics of a quiet person, like with Kawhi, they're not going to get, if they get him, they're not going to get somebody that's going to be like, all right, fellas, we're going to do this. Kawhi's just going to go out there and lead by example.
Yeah.
So, you do need leaders by example, but you also need people in that locker room that's respected, that has a voice to be heard.
A lot more about Kawhi, about the Lakers, the NBA draft tonight as we break it down pick by pick over the course of the next 2 hours and 45 minutes here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. A couple other things we're going to touch on here as we go through our Inland Sports headlines. Ben Simmons of the 76ers here in the Riv, hashtag the Riv raised me, at UC Riverside. Of course, his godfather's the new head basketball coach, David Patrick, out there with the Highlanders. But he was out here working out. And Coach Patrick months ago, had hinted at the fact that, there's probably a good chance that Ben Simmons is going to make his way out to the IE and come, work out with him and, kind of hang around the gym out here at UC Riverside and get some work in. And it actually happened. And he brought a Jenner with him, too. That's what. Yeah. It's happening, Tracy. It's happening.
Yes, the jinx could possibly be on.
I like Ben Simmons, though. I'm hoping he's going to fight it off.
Well, you know what this could possibly do is everything is perfect except for one thing.
What's one?
His shot is broke. He's a left-handed guy.
Does he touch his left-hand elbow?
Touch his left hand. Make him shoot right-handed. Maybe it will break him down so far shooting-wise that he will come out of this like a phoenix. He's going to rise from the ashes. Maybe it's a sign that Tracy is in town, because last time Tracy was in studio, UC Riverside's coaching staff was in studio, and I'm telling you, we have the best shooting coach in the world sitting right next to me.
Greg?
No, not Greg.
Tracy.
No, Tracy.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can make a marriage of a shooting coach, and Ben Simmons, and then you and I and Greg, we can be the facilitators that caused Ben Simmons to be the greatest shooter and best point guard of all time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, while Tracy's working with him on his shot, you would take the Jenner shopping to the Tyler Mall.
I'll take her around. I'll take her somewhere. I'll take her around. I'll take her to get a milkshake. She needs a few. Put some bulk on her. But, I'll take a Jenner out. If it's going to help Ben Simmons and Tracy Murray can get him a jump shot, I'll do anything I can for Ben Simmons. For the team. I might get, I'm married, but I think my wife will understand if I just go out on
so you're being a team player.
I've been a team player. Yeah.
You've never been a team player.
You're a team player for the wrong team.
Yeah.
I thought you were a Laker fan.
I am. That's true. So, but we do have a list. a list of people. We're not going to go over it now.
Don't tell Tracy.
No, we're not
going to
tell
mess with Tracy later.
Yes, but there's a new team in the NBA that's coming next fall. Expansion is here.
Oh, shoot.
And it's I'll tell you, some of the names on this list, if we put this team together, you'd go, oh, my gosh, that is a playoff team, definitely.
It is a playoff team.
Yes, it is.
Sounds really good. Did you text Coach Patrick?
I did. I haven't heard back from him yet because he's working. You know, he's working. He's getting his guys ready for the season. He got 45 minutes a day to work out or whatever.
He's fighting off TMZ. Like,
yeah,
he's got time.
All I know is I go look on Twitter last night, and all the UCR players were like, "Yeah, the Kendall Jenner was watching me play." Yeah, sure she was. You still can't.
They're
shoot.
not watching.
You still can't shoot. That's just don't let her watch you.
Don't get it twisted.
Real quick, some World Cup scores from this morning from Russia. Denmark and Australia with a 1-1 draw. It was France over Peru, 1-0. And maybe the shocker of the tournament so far, Argentina's just laying a big fat egg, including Messi. They lost to Croatia 3-0, the final score.
How do you lose to the Croats, for God's sakes?
No idea. Greg, let's try to crank up the highlight machine. This thing is like iffy. Sometimes, like Ben Simmons, it's kind of 50-50 from the line.
I'm ready for my call.
Here's Croatia.
Bueno, Caballero regaló el gol.
That was Croatia, their first of 3 goals against Argentina. Messi's supposed to be the greatest player in the world, maybe the greatest player of all time.
Yes.
Big fat egg. You guys laughing?
He's going.
Tracy, he's fired up.
And
we needed this guy when you played. I'm trying to hit a 3, and this guy just goes 3.
He calls every single soccer match in the entire world. I'm telling you, man. He calls every single. He's one of us. Isn't he a Galaxy guy?
I don't know. He's Telemundo.
Hey, listen to this. Now,
Cough drop.
This is the one thing that I've heard. I learned coming into the
you're a big
broadcasting
broadcaster
business.
now.
Calling games, and Tracy will tell you. Some guys, the play-by-play guys you work with, can be a little different. You know that.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, Pep.
I'm standing right.
All right. Well, there's guys like
here.
Not Pep,
right
but there's
here.
a couple other guys though that they go, "Hey, my voice isn't feeling well." So they'll have like 3 or 4 lozenges. Then they'll have tea and honey and water, and then they won't talk to you before the show. I can't talk to you. Pep is one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Tracy, that's fake news. That's
You
all a
gotta
lie.
be kidding me, Pep.
Listen, I'm the same guy that has a huge jar of peanut M&Ms sitting next to me, and I'm eating. It's probably
He does.
cardinal
Yes,
rule
those
number 1.
can get stuck in your
Yes.
throat.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know. Now, I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. I'm
We
looking
had
at you
to-
sideways
Hey, wait.
now.
But our boy John Ramey, though. John Ramey, he was my muse.
I know
That's our
John.
friend.
Yeah, I know John.
Yeah, John used to always tell me, hey, if you ever feel bad, you got to have some honey, a little tea, you'll be fine. And he would tell me before the game, hey, just be quiet over there. Just let me work.
You know, it's funny, Jeff. Like, we've done a 3-hour show here on Fox Sports IE.
Yes.
And then we'd go do an entire UC Riverside basketball game. It's like 5-6 hours of non-stop talking.
We've done that many times.
We never had hot tea. We never did
No.
tea.
No.
No.
Who needs that?
But those guys, they work. That is their instrument. That is John Ramey's instrument. John Ramey was so upset today that he could not be on the show. He said because he's
wanted to be
flying in
on our show?
He wanted to come in today because he
Oh.
heard Tracy was coming in.
Well, John Ramey's, what do you do? Was he on tour? I know.
He's on, yeah,
With his
I know he
guitar.
plays guitar.
yeah, he was
Unplugged. All the coffee shops.
John Ramey is, he's the voice now of Nevada, so that's big time
Really?
basketball program. So yeah, he's flying down today to come hang out in LA. He's going to come by the stately Gorham Manor this
He's going to
weekend.
come by the studio next
Oh.
week? Or?
Well, he's going to come by my house and hang around my pool with me for a little bit, so I can convince him. But he's going to need honey.
You
and
haven't been hanging around the pool looking at you right now.
Look at that, I'm tan.
What tan you talking about?
Looking good. I look good.
All right, look, man, my midsection is white.
And for all you baseball fans out there, the Angels will take on the Blue Jays tonight. It's career game number 1,000 for Mike Trout. The Dodgers with the night off, but here's the good news. The Kook, Rancho Cucamonga, back in action. Your first half Cal League champions taking on San Jose tonight out at Lone Mart Field. We're brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs, and they can do Letterman's jacket. So if you need a football helmet, maybe a whole uniform, sweater, socks, cleats, baseball glove, they can hook it all the way up. It's right there off the 15 freeway in Norco. Just turn on Hamner, and there it is. Ken Sporting Goods. We love you, Ken Sporting Goods. When we come back, more NBA draft. Listen, we think we know who's going to go number 1. We think we know who's going to go number 2 to the Kings. Who might be a sleeper? Who might be a surprise pick? We also got to talk about the Lakers' needs. What do they actually need? Or maybe they're just stockpiling these picks to get rid of them. I don't know. I love good conspiracy theories. We'll talk about that as well when we come back. It's your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I tell you that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach the, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
I got my jeans on and I got my team strong. I'm excited about the draft. I'm excited about Sacramento. I think the Lakers are going to make some big moves, Tracy.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You're not hearing what's on. This is Al B. Shore night and day.
Hey, those.
Come on, man. You got to chill out. You got to let that ride for a second.
If you ask
Come
Pep,
on.
You ask Pep anytime, because Greg's great with the great R&B. Great. But you ask Pep, I offer him $1,000 every day to name the singer.
I don't know.
And the
I don't know
song.
any
He
music,
never
Tracy.
can get it.
Come on. Hey, that one had to ride in for a second. We're talking about the Lakers.
I think the Lakers are gonna have a big night. I don't know if it's in the draft. I don't know if it's trade with their draft picks. Now they got 3 between the first and second round. I hope there's some drama building for tonight. I hope it's gonna be exciting. I hope it's gonna be fun. I hope the Lakers can make a splash. Maybe if they keep those draft picks and maybe get a steal somewhere down the road. What's their first pick? Number 25, I think. That's the highest of their 3 picks. So,
and we have no idea who they're going to get at 25, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they go 25 and 39, and they picked up another one last night.
25, 39, and 47.
Yes, right.
I believe are the
2
3
second rounds and 1 first round.
So, if you're the Lakers, you already got a young core. Do you want to add more young guys, or would you rather use those, to, like you said, Tracy, bring in a leader, bring in a guy who's been seasoned a little bit?
I want to bring in a leader, but what they're doing with these picks, they're stockpiling talent and young talent to kind of use as leverage to get what they need.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the roster now, and you look at guys that are still around there that's not free. You know, you look at Ball, Thomas Bryant. They got that P.J. Dozier kid because of the trade with the pick. Is Caruso on a multi-year deal?
No.
Okay, so Caruso's out. Josh Hart's on the deal. Ingram is on the deal. Kuzma's on the deal. Not sure if Peyton, too, is on the deal or not. You got Julius Randle, who's probably the biggest person you can deal with a young person besides Ingram. And then you have Zubac. You got a bunch of young guys right there and the 3 picks. And the biggest commodity is Julius Randle. So, and Kuzma's, you can bargain with Kuzma and Ingram. So, you have bargaining power. You have these 3 picks. It's going to be a real interesting night.
The Lakers do have some decisions to make. We're going to talk a lot more about the Lakers, obviously the NBA draft, which is going to start in about 30 minutes. Probably the first pick will probably be about 45 minutes from exactly right now here on the Inland Sports Show. We're brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass, athletes of all levels and all sports. Everyone's checking out Boost. Check them out on Instagram and Twitter. They got a strength and speed class. And that first one is always absolutely free. BoostTrainingSystems.com is the website. I want to ask Tracy another question, another one of my burning questions. I stayed up all night,
burning.
Jeff.
All night.
I was burning all night long thinking about Tracy. Does that sound weird?
They have things for that,
Hey,
They got pills.
My wife's like, what are you doing over there? I'm like, I'm burning for
Something's
Tracy
going on.
Murray over here.
Hey, yo.
What do you think is going to happen first? That it's going to be reported that LeBron comes out and decides what team he wants to go to, or Kawhi Leonard will be traded? Because I feel like, do they go hand in hand? I feel like one of those dominoes is going to fall first, and it's going to have this ripple effect.
I think it's going to be LeBron first. I think so. It's going to happen shortly after the draft when the free agency period starts. I think it's going to take a while to get what they want for Kawhi. So
Plus,
that's what I
why
think
did
it
this
is.
first have to even be in a hurry, right?
They
There's
don't
no
have
hurry.
to.
No.
There's no hurry. There's no hurry. You can have this deal all the way up until almost before training camp starts. So they have time to try to come up with something that they want.
Let's put ourselves in LeBron's shoes. Do you think he's sitting back saying, okay, I want to see if the Spurs are going to make a move with Kawhi? Well, do you think that'll influence his decision? Like, hey, let's say for sake of conversation that they move him to Philadelphia. They make a trade with the Sixers. I think LeBron's like, okay, hold on a second. The Lakers sounded really nice, but if I go to Philadelphia, me, Kawhi, let's say Embiid and or Ben Simmons is still there, because obviously the Sixers will have to give something up. They'll have to give something up to San Antonio to get Kawhi. Just for this conversation's sake, do you think that LeBron might sit back and be like, oh, wait, hold on, let me rethink this?
Of course.
And I know Kawhi's not a social guy, but come on, behind the scenes, don't you think they've got some sort of lines of communication between agents,
they were on
friends?
Team USA together, so I mean, they can, I'm pretty sure that he's keeping an eye on that. But then you also have to watch out for the Paul George situation too. He's got two situations to watch, unless they've all been on the same phone talking about their plan, which I'm sure people have been doing that in the past. I'm pretty sure, if they haven't made any contact with each other, then of course LeBron is watching. But if they have made contact before, then he's confident in where he wants to go after.
Yeah, I look at the Lakers you look at the Lakers through the years. Let's talk from the very beginning when Jerry Buss took over. There was a guy they brought in, Wilt Chamberlain, magically shows up in Los Angeles, followed by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, magically shows up in Los Angeles. Then you have Magic Johnson. You have magically shows up. James Worthy, Byron Scott, just the perfect storm of guys. And then you go to the Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was not supposed to be a Laker.
Magically
shows up. I look at it kind of like the TV show House of Cards. It's a very, very political atmosphere. We talked to Stein, Mark Workentine, who's the VP of the New York Knicks. And yesterday he said, everybody lies. It is did he call it a chess? He called it not a chess match. I called it a chess match. He called it something, poker. Like playing poker.
Yes,
like
yeah.
poker.
And bluffing and lies and throwing someone off your
I can
tracks.
confirm that. Everybody lies. I can confirm that.
And the thing is, I look at the Lakers as being the best poker players of the last 50 years in the NBA, behind the Boston Celtics and behind some of the other bigger, to the extent maybe San Antonio the last 20 years. But the Lakers just always seem to be a step ahead, and we're talking 3 years ahead, because they had been aiming for this for the last 3 years. They said they were aiming for 2018 draft and the 2019 season, because there is so much money that they have to give. Do you think that this is was done 6 months ago, a year ago? They knew all of these parts were going to fall into place?
I don't know when. I know when we were there, they were probably thinking from that point forward, with that D'Angelo Russell class with Larry Nance Jr. and Clarkson was the year before. All of this young talent being acquired, and Julius Randle. I'm pretty sure they were aiming at some point to this year at trying to make a move to get back up that the ladder of the Western Conference. So it's perfect timing. You know, you acquired you got rid of some that you wanted to get rid of with salaries, with Jordan Clarkson's salaries. And you probably didn't want to get rid of Larry Nance Jr., but he was a casualty of the business. And then now you acquire this young talent, and you got money under the cap, tons of money under the cap. So they got what they wanted accomplished to really go after something right now.
Yeah, and the one thing right now they could probably bring in 2 max contracts right now. But the biggest question is they got to get rid of that Luol Deng contract.
Right.
That Deng contract is kind of hampering.
That Deng contract?
That Deng contract. But isn't he the kind of guy though? I mean, he's owed like $30 million over the next couple of years. Isn't like a San Antonio a place for Luol Deng to go where he can kind of revive his career? Maybe be a bench guy. We've seen it in the past. We've seen older guys come in.
I told Jeff I didn't even know Boris Diaw was still playing, and he got to San Antonio. I'm like, wait, he's still pretty good. Like somehow the Spurs got the best out of him. Maybe they could do the same with Luol Deng.
The only reason why I say no is because Deng played for Tom Thibodeau, and you know how he kills his players.
Ruined his legs.
I don't think Deng has it.
That's a good point. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Rose is down. What's the name's out the league?
Joakim Noah?
Noah's out the league.
You know what?
And it's like, I mean, these guys are you know, they've ran into the ground. You know, Deng is one of them.
You know what? That's the common denominator, right, of these guys. Right. Deng, Rose, Joakim Noah.
Right. And keep your eye on Jimmy Butler. He's starting to get injured.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't you think about that?
And he's back with Thibodeau.
And that's true. And,
that's right.
But Popovich is kind of in that mold though of Thibodeau. Wouldn't you say he's kind of a harder working guy, or is he more of a player's coach?
He knows how to manage players and practices and stuff like that. He's been around a while, so I'm pretty sure he knows how to manage those situations. So I don't think he'll run his players into the ground like Thibodeau did with his. I think Thibodeau is learning that he can't do that. And hopefully with this young crop that he has, that, you know, they can last a long time.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we've got a lot more NBA draft news to get to. Potential trades down the pike. What are the biggest needs for the Lakers? And the Lakers had a big meeting. We're going to tell you what they were discussing in this very big, highly confidential meeting. We got the details on that as well when we come back. This is your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Is this another good song? Should we pause a moment?
$1,000.
$1,000?
Yes.
I got it.
Get out.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Now get the heck out of here. What the hell? Come on.
Shanice, I love your smile.
Come on, man.
I love this game. We're brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You can buy, trade, and finance at Catalano Motors. And right now, when you go to Catalano Motors in Corona, if you mention the Inland Sports Show, you get $500 off any vehicle. But you got to mention the Inland Sports Show at Catalano Motors off of Temescal Canyon Road. CatalanoCars.com is their website. Please go check it out. All right, we're moments away from the NBA draft. We're going to get things cracking in about a dozen minutes or so in New York City. Phoenix will be on the clock. We all think the big man from Arizona, Aiden's going to go number one, right? That's kind of, I guess, the secret's out of the bag, right, Tracy? I mean, everyone kind of figured it.
But here's the big question. Does somebody go to trade up to get to that number one spot? Does somebody take over Phoenix?
Well, Phoenix, remember, it was just a little blurb, and it came out real quick that Phoenix wanted to have some conversations with San Antonio about Kawhi. Kawhi for a number one pick. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, we're getting really close to the start of the draft. Anything could happen. I'm just saying, there was a little report snuck out there real quick.
Yeah, you may get that little report, but Kawhi doesn't want to be there.
Let me ask you this, Tracy, because we talk about this every single day on this show, that Greg Popovich does not want to trade with another Western Conference team. But Phoenix is really bad. Do you think he's really concerned about Phoenix? He might look at them and say, you know what, go ahead. You can have Kawhi. We'll take that number one pick. We're not afraid of you. We're not worried. Because the Lakers could build a super team. But I'm not freaking out about Phoenix, though.
That's a possibility. I mean, especially when San Antonio can get 8.
You know what I mean? Like, now it sounds pretty good.
Or you look at what you have there. You have Aldridge. You have Aldridge and Ayton. That's a nice little, Tim Duncan, David Robinson combo right there.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, but the other two guys just opted out. You got Rudy Gay just opted out, and Green also
Rudy Gay didn't even play last year, did he?
That didn't help because Rudy Gay's a good talent.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy, he came off the bench but still averaged double figures. He wants to, continue playing. He doesn't want to sit on the bench. But here is a couple conspiracy theorists here. I think, I'm still going to go with this, is we're going to see a lot of moves in this draft that might not look very big on the surface, but in the next coming weeks, we're going to look at those guys as stockpiling guys. They're going to evaluate and see if this talent pool is good in the draft. And then once LeBron James makes his decision, everybody else is going to have to play catch up wherever he decides. And they're going to garner these picks. They're going to garner the most assets you can get to make your team better. But I'll tell you what, look beyond the good teams, the San Antonios, the Golden States, the Houstons, the Lakers, the Celtics, and maybe Philly. What do you have to do to be relevant in the NBA nowadays? Because there isn't a hard cap. Do you have to be smart in the draft? Do you have to be savvy in other ways? Because these smaller market teams seem to never get ahead at all. What do you think on that?
Well, the smaller market teams aren't going to ever get ahead because no one wants to be in their town. That's the unfortunate thing that small markets are dealing with. You got guys that want to be in New York. They want to be in Atlanta. They want to be in LA. They want to be, where it's happening, where there's something to do. And I think that's a problem with the small market team. And, you very rarely can get, Utah was good at one time, and San Antonio's been good. And that's a rare thing.
Portland, right?
Portland. You got to have guys that are strategically in place in the front office that understands how to maximize the small market, and you got to be pretty savvy at it.
Yeah, and how viable can San Antonio continue to be? Because I was telling Pep, Popovich is going to take over the USA basketball program. He's the head basketball coach for the Olympic team, and he's going to take over the program after next year. Do you think he'll continue to coach in the NBA full time with his wife just passing and possibly new ownerships going through, and he's going to lead USA basketball? Could he possibly say, you know what, I'm going at the tail end of my career. I have Kawhi Leonard, who I want to play on the Olympic team, obviously. You don't want to burn that bridge. You want to facilitate Kawhi Leonard to possibly, even though they're saying no, Could he make a move with the Lakers still, because there is such young talent that won't hamper or hurt San Antonio? It would only make them better by dealing with the Lakers? Or is it just that he's not going to do it?
I don't think he's going to do it. And I don't think that Kawhi Leonard being on the USA team and Popovich, coaching it, I don't think that's going to be a problem. If it is a problem, Kawhi is just one person compared to the rest of them. He can, it's hard to say he can be replaced, but
he can.
But he can. They'll just put another guy in the slot and then keep moving. So I don't think. I think Popovich is going to stick to his guns and not make a deal with the Lakers. Unfortunately for Kawhi,
because Jeff feels like Kawhi has the ball in his court. I feel like the Spurs have it, at least for one more year, because they don't have to move him, but they won't get anything in return if they decide to keep him.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
That people, whoever get him, and it's not the Lakers, they're not getting anything in return. That's why whoever gets him with the San Antonio deal,
it's a rental.
They're gonna have to make a deal with the Lakers if they want to get something out of Kawhi.
Something in return.
Something in return.
Draft picks.
Yes.
Young players.
They have
something.
To. I'm gonna hit the brakes for a second, because you said that Rudy Gay opted out. Who else was the guy that opted out?
Green.
Danny what is Green? He opting out for?
He
That's my question. What is he opting out for? He couldn't hit a jumper all year. What is he opting out for?
He thinks that he can get a better deal. More money.
Somewhere else.
You can't get more. They overpaid him the last time.
Yes, they did. I agree.
They overpaid him the last time, and he didn't hit a jumper this year, and he's getting older, and he's not defending like he used to. What is he thinking about? Don't leave money on the table, young fella.
A lot of guys are doing it. A lot of guys are their egos. Bad advice, big egos, and guys think that.
So it was the player option, and he decided. to
think about this. He had a couple of turns in different organizations before San Antonio. San Antonio believed in him. They developed him. He started. He became this guy. Now he wants to leave where he got developed and blew up at, opting out of a contract in which it was already too much for what he was getting anyway.
Yes.
So I don't get it, man. Just play out your contract and be a good sport, and then you'll get another 2 or 3 year deal because of his experience and his he's not that old.
No.
And he'll get good money with that deal because they're paying people out of the kazoo anyway because of these TV deals. So he'll still get a good deal. He's going to be set for life. And then he has an opportunity of going in the front office afterwards if he wanted that, if he stayed in San Antonio. I am talking from experience where I messed up at in Washington.
Yeah. Remember, he is best friends with Kawhi Leonard.
He is?
He is.
Danny Green?
Remember, he was the guy that came out and said that everything is good with Kawhi, and it's the other players.
Oh, he was diffusing that whole players meeting thing in the locker room.
So he's probably feeling like the odd man out on the team if Kawhi leaves.
They probably drew a line in the sand. Are you team Kawhi? You team Spurs?
Yep. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm with Kawhi.
I can see that happening.
Really goofy decisions by a lot of guys.
We got a couple of minutes left in this segment. The NBA draft is going to begin shortly. The Lakers with 3 picks, number 25, number 39, number 47. They did have a team meeting. This leaked information that they had a meeting about no tampering, that the Lakers have been slapped on the hand before about trying to negotiate, make contact with these players. July 1st is when it opens up. So there's like a week. It starts July 1st, and there's a week where you can negotiate, although nothing can be signed. It's not official, but at least you can start meeting with players, negotiating contracts, agreeing to contracts, all those sorts of things. So the Lakers said they didn't say it. Someone leaked the information that they had a meeting with everyone in the organization so they could be crystal clear. You cannot tamper. There's no contact. There's no negotiating. There's nothing until
a word.
July 1st. With that said, Tracy, with the 25th pick, which is their highest of the 3 picks, we got like 3 minutes here. Where do you think the Lakers, as the roster stands right now, let's take LeBron out of the equation, potential guys signing Paul George, the way the roster is right now, where do the Lakers go with their highest pick at number 25? Do they go big? Do they go for a point guard? I mean, what do you think they should do right here?
I am looking at their roster right now, and I'm seeing guard, forward guard. They need some bigs.
There you go.
They need some power forwards who are about 6'10", 6'11", or they need bigs because there's no more Lopez. He's done, right?
Yeah, good. Get rid of him. I'm angry with that guy.
Hey,
Still
man,
salty.
come on,
love for
man.
Lopez.
Come on, man. I've been knowing that kid since he was a baby, man. Come on, man.
Hey, no love for Lopez.
They have Zubac, but he's not ready yet. And Thomas Bryant is 6'10". They still have him. But these guys are not ready to go now.
Yeah.
So you gotta work a deal to get somebody that's somewhat ready to go now. I mean, even if you bring in LeBron, Kawhi,
Still need a
Paul
big,
George,
right?
That's 6'7", 6'8", 6'7". You still need some big guys. So the Lakers need to stockpile some bigs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I personally, and we've talked about this, I like Mo Wagner out of Michigan.
Love Mo Wagner.
6'10", 6'11", maybe 7 foot.
Can shoot it.
Can shoot.
Like the Dirk Nowitzki mold?
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
that safe?
He's a great offensive rebounder. He can play defense. He can guard smaller guys. He can guard big guys. But the big thing about him is he's a stretch 4 or a stretch 5. And you look at the Western Conference. You look at Golden State. Golden State goes small.
Yeah.
That could do well with the Lakers.
All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. Jeff came up with an NBA expansion team.
Coming out next year.
My biggest question is,
no.
one of my burning questions for Tracy is Tracy on this expansion team?
I sure hope not.
Sir.
He might be.
No, sir.
That player coach?
Player
Maybe?
coach.
I
We'll
don't
have
know.
to find out where. We'll see where his paths have crossed.
I hope for his sake he's not on this team.
No, I am clean slate with this team, buddy.
We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here with Boost Training. We're here at the BPC and it's summertime. We have another Boost Training tip for you. This tip goes out to all the football players who spent the entire offseason getting strong, putting on weight, getting bigger. Now it's time to make that sports specific and turn it into power. So these next few tips are going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so our first tip of the day is what's called a depth jump. And this is a great drill to turn strength into power that you want to hit as you start getting closer to the season for an off-season football player. So what Cruz is going to do, he's going to take a quick step off the box. He's going to hit the ground as quickly as possible, get up, elevate, and he's going to land on the higher set of boxes here. All right, he's going to have his hips flexed, arms extended. He's going to hold that for a second. He's going to step back down. Here we go, Cruz. Let's hit it. Get up. Nice. Wants to hold that position for a second. Take a nice and easy step down. Depth jump. Great drill to maximize power. There you have it. Now we just showed you guys a depth jump. Now, one of the things that you can do to progress that and really take it to the next level, you can either elevate the 18-inch box here, all right, or we can elevate the landing box, all right? And remember, the goal here is to minimize ground contact and have a great counter movement, meaning when we hit the ground, we want to bring our arms through, all right? So just one of the things that you can do to make this more difficult and to maximize all those power gains. So that's our Boost Training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at Boost_training and our Instagram at Boost Training. Grind hard, stay solid.
focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're here every single day, live and amplified on the local sports leader. Jeff Gorham, Greg Holla, I'm Pep Fernandez. I got some bad news for everybody.
What do you mean?
Tracy. I'm looking at all the top picks for the NBA draft. All the guys who are in New York City. They're going to hear their names called. You remember Tracy was here. We were making fun of, I believe it was LeBron James for wearing the suit. With the shorts.
Oh,
remember?
Yes.
Guys.
There's not guys doing that, are
they? There's a guy at the draft, and I believe it's Trae Young. He's got the suit with the shorts.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm just reporting the news.
Ah, man, there's no respect for the NBA right now. None. These guys are rookies, man. Show up in a suit and look good. Come on, man.
It's a half a suit. I mean, he's got it.
That's horrible.
Great. Search Trae Young on Twitter.
Phoenix Suns are now on the clock.
How long was it? 5 minutes?
I don't know. We'll figure it. Tracy's been a part of this draft stuff.
Yeah, it's a long process.
Sitting there waiting, nervous.
Especially when you go 18. You thought you were going earlier.
Those Suns,
that's a lot of picks.
Those SOBs.
Hey, Jalen Rose, he talked about earlier today.
Yeah.
About being passed over and sitting there and not being happy when he put the hat on, walking up. He said,
"But you have to smile, right?"
He said the only smile he had was shaking Commissioner Stern's hand. But he says, if you're ever in that situation, it's got to be burning inside of you the whole time, from the time that you get passed over. And it's true. I had a chip on my shoulder for a while because of that.
We're gonna get to the your expansion team. I don't want to get too much away. We are gonna get to that.
Yes.
But real quick, one more burning question for Tracy here.
Burning.
So when you see the draft picks going in front of you, are you thinking in your mind like, A, that's a city or a team I'd really like to play for, or B, like, hey, I just lost like $300,000, or I just lost $1 million. Like, you see the picks going and the money being taken away from you. You know what I mean? Like, when you what's bothering you?
All of the above. It's like you're seeing your money go down. Number one, because it is a business. Number two, you're feeling lied to. You know, just like I said, I can confirm that NBA teams lie. Yeah, they lie. You know, so you're feeling lied to, and then it gets to the point of, okay, where am I going to go? Because everybody that I worked out for have passed me up. Where am I going to go? The element of the unknown. You start thinking, man, I should have stayed in school. You get all of these thoughts. Go through your head.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys right now that didn't turn in their evaluation, their doctor's evaluations, their physical. They didn't turn them over to the actual organizations because they were worried that their name or their injuries would be out there and they would drop in the draft because they didn't want anyone to know. Do you see, and you went through this, a lot of people throw out a lot of misinformation because they want to get you later on down the draft. So we could see a lot of this. I know Michael Porter Jr. was one of the players that said, I'm not going to release my physicals to certain teams, and he did not. He refused. Some people thought it was a ploy for him not to go, to the Orlando Magic where he doesn't want to play. So he did not give them his physical. But on the other hand, why would you? Would you, looking back now, would you have done that?
No, but they already had it in the pre-draft. So they already did their own x-rays and all and did every physical thing that they can do to you at the pre-draft camp. Now, if you just don't show up to the pre-draft camp, and that means you have your records, that means they didn't get a chance to put you through a physical or x-ray you or anything like that. If that's the situation, then you're holding the cards. But if you've gone to the pre-draft camp and you go through all of those examinations and things like that, they already have it. Now, if they get them mixed up, then that's their problem. And that's what happened with my case. They got me mixed up with another player with my injury, and it cost me. I dropped, 10, 12 spots because of it. And it cost me a lot of money and playing time.
Yeah, and my first thought when Pep asked you if what your first thought was, I know what your thought was. You were probably thinking, I'm better than that guy, I'm better than that guy, and I'm better than that guy. And that's how you kind of have to be. If you're coming into the NBA or, playing upper division basketball, you got to have that mindset that you're better than everybody.
Come on, man. The Clippers took Randy Woods.
Who?
Randy Woods.
Exactly. Who the hell is Randy Woods?
Did he ever score 50 on Golden State?
No, he did not.
The Lakers took Anthony Peeler, and that's my boy. And he was a pretty good player.
Good player.
But come
on. See, that is the thing, is you were the best shooter in that draft.
I'm fresh off the USA team that year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I played myself onto that USA team, the Pan American team, with some really good players, the best players in the nation that year. So I've proven myself to be able to play. So, I had a mad chip on my shoulder.
All right. Can we get to your expansion team?
We
We've got a very exclusive franchise changing kind of a lineup here.
Oh, yes.
Hold on, real quick. It's brought to you by Spoiled, quick quality oil change. Get your Spoiled oil change is Spoiled right now, every 3,000 or 5,000 miles, right there off of Alessandro Boulevard. You know you're overdue. Go get your oil change. Spoiled, quick quality oil change. All right, this is a very, very exclusive. There's a lot of star power. This is a very exciting team, Jeff, that you've put together.
Well, this team, we've decided that it's the Calabasas Gold Diggers.
The what?
The Calabasas Gold Diggers.
The Calabasas Gold Diggers.
You have the Clippers.
That means you got to have some cheese to be on this team.
Yeah. This is you have the LA Lakers.
Keyshawn Johnson country.
You have the Clippers, and then you have the Calabasas Gold Diggers. There's one thing that all of these players have in common.
They're all really good.
They're all really good players. There are 11 of them on this list.
Wow, 11.
And we'll throw in Tracy, and we'll make it an even dozen.
No.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to just read them in order, and then we'll discuss who would start on this group.
What do they have?
Wait a minute. I thought I was guessing.
Would you like? Okay, go ahead. On this Calabasas Gold Diggers, give me your first few picks.
go with like a draft?
Yes. Well, if you were going to say who was on this team.
Okay, the number 1 pick of the Gold Digger draft is Ben Simmons.
All right. He's part of this team. He's our point guard.
Okay. Lamar Odom.
Yes, he's on the team.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got to have a veteran trade. Rick Fox.
Rick Fox is. He could be the coach.
Rick Fox, man.
Rick Fox.
Wait. We need a rebounder. Tristan Thompson.
Yes.
We need a franchise-changing player. Lamar Odom.
Yes, we got him. Is that it? Is that all you got?
No, we need some role players. Rashad McCants.
Yeah, Rashad
Is he on the list?
He is on the
How
list.
did he make the team?
Rashad McCants. You remember he gave up basketball to become an actor.
He did?
Yeah. Now he's
What's he
playing.
in?
Nothing. But
Okay.
But they were
Nothing.
We need another role player, scrapper.
Yes. Gotta have him.
Chris Humphries.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's on the team.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, we were
Is he
always
with us?
wondering. We've wondered if he was still alive.
We haven't heard from him.
He's disappeared. He's been
Let's assume
emaciated.
let's assume he's still with us.
alive. Okay. So yes. Okay.
Okay. Then we had a tag team in Lakerland when I was coaching. Clarkson and Russell.
There you go. Oh, that's 12.
Wait,
I
both
forgot.
of them?
Wait. Yes, I forgot about that one.
Wait, you forgot that
I
one?
did that one. Okay,
All right, now I'm out of picks.
All right, here we
I'm
go.
out of picks.
So we got
Is
12.
there
We got a
more?
full team. We have a full team. Oh, there's plenty more. You forgot the best one. He's the MVP of the league. James Harden.
Oh, I forgot.
James
about
Harden
that
has been
one.
traded.
Oh.
James Harden has been traded from Houston to Calabasas. You forgot about this one. Our power forward, Blake Griffin.
Oh,
Hey, look at that one right there.
These are recent ones.
Yes.
It's a good team.
Okay, and then to round out the team, Chandler Parsons. That's a good team. Now, so let's just go through the list here. Chandler Parsons. So you got Chris Humphries, who's a bench guy, definitely.
You got a whole team.
Tristan Thompson, James Harden, Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, Jordan Clarkson, Lamar Odom, Rick Fox, Rashad McCants, Chandler Parsons, and Russell. Russell, the guy that played it, D'Angelo Russell. There we go. That's 12 guys.
Who's your starting five?
If you have that team, does that team put you in the playoffs?
Yes.
So the Calabasas Gold Diggers are in the playoffs in 2018-19. That's a hell of a team, though, isn't it?
It is a hell of a team.
And I'll tell you what, we have it all to be grateful for from the Kardashian Jenners. They are the owners, general managers, and hold all the cards in this draft. So they've drafted a pretty good team. What do you think of that team, Pep? Could they beat the Kings?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely they could beat the Kings. Did you do the starting five? I'm sorry, I'm reading about Chris Humphries.
You seen if
Praise
he's
the Lord,
alive?
he's still with
He
us.
is still alive?
He's still with
us.
us.
Yeah, if you go your starting five, you have to go Ben Simmons at the 1. Maybe even guys that are maybe older still can play him. In the league right now, maybe Chandler Parsons at the 2. James Harden at the 2. James Harden at the 2.
Lamar Odom at the 3.
3. Blake Griffin at the 4. And then I guess
the 5 you can put because he's a 5 anywhere on the team. Tristan Thompson.
Hey, and they're in the Western Conference, so we can do that for sure.
Yeah.
We can go small lineup. That's not a bad team, though.
But the bench is crazy.
That's a great bench.
Great bench.
That's a great team.
Yes.
And what do they all have in common, Jeff?
They're all Kardashian Jenners. They've all been besmirched.
They've all
dabbled in the waters of Jenner Kardashian. Kanye West.
Halftime show.
You know, and then next week when we get into the dog days of summer, we will have the expansion NFL team.
Oh no!
Yes, and then as we get later on, we have the Major League Baseball draft.
Is there baseball guys?
Oh, there's lots of baseball guys too.
Ooh.
They've hit them on no hockey though, so we won't touch hockey. We won't touch any. Well, there might be a couple track and fielders. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's the thing.
So there's 12 guys that have been a part and dipped into the waters.
I think TMZ might be interested in this segment.
Who's this?
TMZ.
TMZ,
they might love
definitely.
something like this.
They're the ones that put it out there.
Yeah, we've looked them up. We were like, holy cow, that's 12 guys. That's a pretty good team, though.
A lot of talent.
So Chris Humphries.
A lot of money.
I know you guys were all
we
wondering
want to
about
know if
Chris
he's still
Humphries.
alive. We've been talking about this for weeks.
The latest I can find on him, according to his Wikipedia, he played for the Hawks last year, not the season we just finished.
I know he played for the Hawks when I was.
Okay, so he was. So a year ago, he was in the NBA.
About 2 years ago.
Did he look like a beaten man when you saw him? Did he look like he just didn't want to be there?
You know what? He was popping out hitting threes at that time. It's like everybody changes their game to step out and hit threes, where he was effective at just being, Tristan Thompson-like. I mean, they played the same way: rebounds, score buckets, grunt buckets, transition buckets. and he was changing and he turned out to be a decent pick and pop 3-point shooter guy, but I don't think that's what they were looking for out of him.
Now, looking at this at the runners-up this year, the Cleveland Cavaliers, off of that roster, and there's some guys on this. I mean, they are landlocked as far as salary cap conditions. Pep thinks though that maybe LeBron can convince somebody to come over and play for Cleveland.
Kawhi.
That Kawhi's not going to go there. Because listen to this. Of all the guys on that roster, do you think any of these guys have a chance to be traded with these salaries? Tristan Thompson's set to make $18 million next year.
Woo-wee!
George Hill, $22 million.
Woo!
Kevin Love, $22 million. He's going to be up to $24 next year. Jordan Clarkson will be at $13 million. That is a roster though that nobody really wants. J.R. Smith's going to make $15 million next year.
There is a lot of high-paid, non-productive guys.
So Pep, there you go.
I'm not including Kevin Love in that bunch. Kevin Love is productive.
What did he say? Kawhi's going to Cleveland?
He did not.
No, he did not say that.
He did not.
Oh,
this is Pep's whole thought process is that LeBron James is going to stay.
But I saw a picture on Instagram that had Kawhi in a Cleveland uniform. I thought it was a done deal.
It is impossible.
Photo edit?
They would who if you were San Antonio, who would you take unless it's a three-way deal?
There's lots of guys. Jordan Clarkson.
Do you think Larry Nance Jr. and you coached him? Do you think he's got a shot to be a pretty good, productive player in the NBA for years?
I think he's a great role player, and from a coaching point of view, he knows how to play the game. He was taught the game by his dad. Of course, he's got pro pedigree, so he knows how to play the game. He's extremely unselfish. He knows what he does good. He knows what he doesn't do very well, and he works at things he doesn't do well. So when you want a pro, Larry Nance Jr. is a pro. So he'll be good for a good 12 years. He'll be a guy
in San Antonio.
He'll be a guy that lasts 12 years in the league because of the fact he knows how to play, and he's a worker, and he's a great guy.
Nance, Clarkson, George Hill, done deal.
For who?
For Kawhi.
Just stop it. Just stop it, Bill.
Totally work. By the way, Chris Humphries is selling his lakefront home in Lake Minnetonka. He's doing just fine. He's selling off all his property and making so much money.
Did you say Lake Minnetonka?
Lake Minnetonka.
So he has some purification.
Yeah, purification in the waters.
Lake Minnetonka. We're brought to you by Boost Performance Training. Go check out Boost on Instagram and Twitter. They've got a strength and speed class. The first one is always absolutely free. Go check that out. See some great results. So you can be the best, the fastest, strongest player on your team, whether it's lacrosse, golf, basketball, football, it does not matter. Go to Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I'm looking at the draft. I guess Phoenix still has not selected, right?
They're probably do all their pomp and circumstances. You know, they got
they're pumping the draft up.
Yes, of
all
course.
Right. When we come back, then we'll talk more about the draft because the Phoenix Suns will be making the #1 overall selection very, very soon. We'll also talk more about what the Lakers might do with their picks. Do they continue to go young? Do they go big? Maybe they're just, stockpiling these picks to potentially make a trade during the draft. That's what I love. I love all the curveballs, the twists and the turns that we might go throughout the course of the next 2 rounds of the NBA draft.
I also have my handy dandy
buzzer.
My bell.
It's all blinged out.
Bell.
You brought that from home.
I did. Pulled it out of the kitchen. Pulled it out. My bedazzled bell. I'm ready.
Let's try it.
Let's
test it.
Yeah, it's ready. It's ready. So that'll be the official draft
bell
of the day.
We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajalco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here with Boost Training. We're here at the BPC and it's summertime. We have another Boost Training tip for you. This tip goes out to all the football players. You spent the entire offseason getting strong, putting on weight, getting bigger. Now it's time to make that sports specific and turn it into power. So these next few tips are going to show you exactly how to do that. Let's check it out. Okay, so our first tip of the day is what's called a depth jump. This is a great drill to turn strength into power that you want to hit as you start getting closer to the season for an off-season football player. So what Cruz is going to do, he's going to take a quick step off the box. He's going to hit the ground as quickly as possible, get up, elevate, and he's going to land on the higher set of boxes here. All right, he's going to have his hips flexed, arms extended. He's going to hold that for a second. He's going to step back down. Here we go, Cruz. Let's hit it. Get up. Nice. Wants to hold that position for a second. Take a nice and easy step down. Depth jump. Great drill to maximize power. There you have it. Now we just showed you guys a depth jump. Now, one of the things that you can do to progress that and really take it to the next level, you can either elevate the 18-inch box here, all right, or we can elevate the landing box, all right? And remember, the goal here is to minimize ground contact and have a great counter movement, meaning when we hit the ground, we want to bring our arms through, all right? So just one of the things that you can do to make this more difficult and to maximize all those power gains. So that's our boost training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at boost_training and our Instagram at boosttraining. Grind hard, stay solid.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. No pick yet from the Suns, right?
None.
Nothing.
I was just laughing because you didn't know who Apollonio Cotero is.
No.
All right, you know what? We're gonna have you come over to the Stately Gorham Manor this summer. We're gonna watch all of the great '80s movies.
Yes.
That involve all the hot. We're gonna watch some New Jack City. Woo. We're gonna watch Purple Rain.
Hey,
Pep, I'm gonna get you your street cred. You're gonna have a little bit of street cred because you're gonna be one of the dudes. You're gonna have Tracy over there.
I don't know movies. I don't know music. Tracy, you don't know this, but I grew up building wooden rafts and going across swamps and milking cows. This is all true. This is a true story. This is what happens up in Northern California.
Yeah, he grew up. He deprived.
Yeah. And I was deep in the swamps, and Jeff's watching Prince, and
so he was watching water moccasins while you were watching Apollonia.
That's right.
You're darn right. I pick mine every time, man. You missed some of the greatest cinematic experiences of your life. You're not much younger than I am.
Greatest. A lot younger than
you.
You're
not either.
You're
in your 40s now.
Greatest.
We're brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs. And they can hook it up big time with that Letterman's jacket. So you got all those CIF and all league patches. They can hook it up and bling it out for you at Ken Sporting Goods. Plus, you can pick up a baseball bat or some cleats. KenSportingGoods.com right there off the 15 freeway in Norco. Pick a ride on Hamner right there. All right, we're getting ready for the NBA draft. What are the Suns taking for so long? They know who they're going to take, right?
Like, I hope so.
Come on, let's just do this. Let's get the ball rolling.
I just think it's TV at this point. You know, they're hyping the draft up and they're talking about different things, and I just think that's what it is right now. I don't think it's so much that Phoenix on the clock that's taking the time.
This is like a made-for-TV event, isn't it? Like, you could hold the draft just behind closed doors and be like, okay, we'll take Bagley. Okay, yeah, we got Ayton. Okay, I got Trae Young.
That's what it used to be. Now it's made for TV.
Now it's a big made-for-TV event. So, Tracy, let's go back 5-6 years when you were in the draft. I'm being nice. But when you were going through the draft process, it was draft night. Was it stressful? Was it exciting? Because you knew as soon as your name was called, your life was going to change forever. I mean, what was your mindset going into the draft? Like right now on the night of the draft for you?
Right now, I know that Shaquille is going first. So, and I know Alonzo's going second and Christian Laettner is going third. So
there's some big names in that draft.
Right. Jimmy Jackson's going fourth. LaFonso Ellis going fifth. This is everything that's known. You get a little excited when the team that's drafting told you that they're going to take it. That's when you get a little excited. And then when it doesn't happen, then the disappointment sets in. Then the next team comes up. Okay, this is the one. I had a great workout here. They pass on you. More disappointment, more fear, more anxiety. You start questioning, your decision. Then when the Lakers and Clippers passed up, that's when I was like, all right, I'm taking a walk. I'm out of here.
So for your draft experience, those first 5 picks went according to plan.
Right.
What everyone thought.
Now the excitement of the draft is going on because, okay, I'm not being lied to because here's the first 5 picks.
Everyone kind of saw it coming, right?
You kind of know that this was going to happen.
So when number 6 rolled around, did you kind of sit up in your seat a little bit taller and think, okay, it could be any minute now?
No, I knew it was the end of the lottery, mid first round. So, which I ended up going, but I didn't think I was going to slide that many picks and get drafted by somebody I never worked out for. But when it got down to 9, 10, 11, and that's when I kind of sat up, and it's like, okay, it's close to time, and I got a little excited, but yeah.
Did they call you first? Did you get a phone call?
No, I was sitting right there in the green room. They had to come find me. I was up the hallway taking a walk,
pacing around.
I took a walk.
He's an angry guy. I would have been too. Man, now, maybe kind of go back and tell us what exactly happened that night, because it was kind of a strange night for you, wasn't it?
It was
changing hats and telling you to act like different guys.
Yeah. It was a strange night because as soon as I get drafted, I put on now the Phoenix Suns are on the clock. I put my hat on. I walk up there. I shake Commissioner Stern's hand with smile. Then as soon as I sit down for the interview, don't get comfortable with the hat, because there's going to be a trade. So now I'm sitting there talking up San Antonio like I'm going to be there, knowing that I'm not going to be there. And that was the most difficult thing in the world. And then you go in the back, you have tons of interviews, and it was in Portland, Oregon at the time, and I had this weird interview. Okay, act like you're Dave Johnson. We just, because there's so much going on, that there are so many picks that passes by while you're doing things in the back, that, okay, I get to this one local station. Okay, act like you're Dave Johnson. Put on the Portland Trailblazer hat. And they knew something that I didn't know, obviously. And then I ended up in Portland. So that was the craziest draft night I've ever known. I know it's pretty close to home being me, but I haven't heard of anybody else's draft night being this crazy.
No, that's bizarre. Hey, be somebody else, Pep. Be Jeff Gorham.
You're like, who is that?
Exactly.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Here, this was the scene for the Lakers last year when they made the number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft.
With the second pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Lonzo Ball from UCLA.
Now, here's my question for you guys. If the Lakers could do it all over again,
see Lonzo with his dad,
do you think they'd want a redo?
Family and friends surround
yes,
him on this
I would. Give me a redo.
Family always believed would happen.
I think if they knew what was going on with Pat,
as Jay alluded to,
I don't think they have a problem with him personally or as a player. I think they have a problem with the total package.
Now, what's his ceiling? I mean, you work out guys all the time. What is Lonzo Ball's ceiling?
I just think that he'll be a really good point guard. I think he makes guys better. Once he learns the total pro game, get stronger, get a little bit more athletic, improve his shooting, because that's going to happen being a pro. You're going to improve. Even with his form, you're going to improve your shooting being in the league. If you don't improve your shooting work, they're pushing the panic button with him. I think
it's too early, right?
I think if the distractions keep coming, then he's in trouble. If the distractions die alongside of him and he's focused on what he's doing as a player, because that's what he brings to the table, I think he'll be fine. But everything else has got to take a back seat and kind of die down so he can develop.
Now, I don't think for 1 second that LeVar Ball can push around Magic Johnson and the great name of the Lakers and try to be the shot caller for an organization who's had so much greatness and success and the tradition. But, Tracy, do you remember he said he wants all 3 of his sons to play on the same team and that he needed the Lakers to draft LiAngelo Ball? Jeff, we joke about it all the time. Because remember, he said, and he was dead serious, the Lakers needed to draft Jello Ball and sign LeBron. So LeBron Zoe and the middle ball, Jello, could do all the scoring, and then you just need 2 guys to rebound for him. That's what he said. So assuming the Lakers don't draft Jello Ball, and I think there's no way we'll get to Mars, we'll land on Mars before something like this happens. Do you think LeVar Ball would really say, Lonzo, I'm not going to let you re-sign with the Lakers. We're gonna, when your contract's up and Melo's ready to enter the league, I'm going to get you guys all on the same team. I don't think it's ever going to happen in the NBA,
no,
at least. He's
I
got to go
don't think
somewhere
it's
else.
ever going to happen in the NBA either. But at some point, Lonzo's going to have to be his own man and make his own decisions. Because, you know, you're in a grown man sport. You can no longer, you know, being a dad is one thing. Always be a dad and give good advice. Okay. But when it comes to this basketball thing and the business of it, he is in a business that LeVar knows nothing about. So he has to listen to people that know what they're doing, know what they're talking about. Magic Johnson knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He's been there and done that. He's a Hall of Famer. He's an icon in this business. So, and he's an icon in the business world, period. He's done a lot of good things off the court. You know what I'm saying? He's owners, you know, part owner of the Dodgers. He does a lot of good stuff business-wise. So, are you going to listen to somebody that can help you? Or are you going to listen to somebody at this point when it comes to this business that's going to hurt you? So, at some point, and I know you love your dad. He's going to always be dad.
Of course.
No disrespect to the Ball family. I love how they keep everything together. But when you're in this business, you have to take a step back like my parents had. You know, my dad was always involved, but not this involved.
And it's not just some random guy running the Lakers.
Right.
It's Magic Johnson, one of the maybe the greatest Laker of all time and savvy businessman.
Right.
Jeff, you got the bell out.
We have a first pick, my friends. Hey! The first pick goes to the Phoenix Suns. Select DeAndre Ayton out of Arizona, the center.
No surprise.
No surprise.
Played at the University of Arizona. He goes to the Phoenix Suns. It's a natural transition. Now they've got, what, Booker? They've got Ayton.
Well, there was a comment that, you know, maybe we can have the Shaq and Kobe thing here, and they do. And look at the similarities here. You got a big monster in the middle.
Yeah. And Booker,
Booker is the son of a pro.
Yeah.
Just like Kobe was.
Yeah.
That can score the basketball. So you got a little, but they didn't have the role players.
Yeah, I don't even know who else is on Phoenix.
Me either.
Well, you know, if you were going to compare, let's go over number 1 draft picks the last few years. On Ayton, Greg Oden, Steven Adams. Better than all three? Better of the 3?
Greg Oden.
Coming in, yes.
Coming in,
yes.
Okay, he's a great athlete. We all know that. He's going to fill into that body. He's going to be a monster.
He's a 7-footer, right?
He's a 7'1". He's big.
Oh, 7'1".
He's 7'1". He's got a 7'5" wingspan.
And they got him listed at 250. They say he's gained 15 pounds of muscle already, so he's 265 now.
Not a great defender, but can work on that as his, you know, he grows into that body. He's still a young man. Remember, he's only a freshman. Comes out of the Bahamas, signed with he's part of that new Puma, the new Puma brand that's coming out. So, yeah, they're going to unveil the Pumas tonight.
Going Puma. Oh, they are?
They're going to unveil them.
Want to see
Rudy
those.
Gay's going Puma, too.
Is he?
They say the top 4 picks are Marvin Bagley Jr. is going with Puma. There's a couple other guys that are as well.
Jay-Z influence.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you know what? Let's take a break because we're up against it right now. Let's take a break. I got a feeling that maybe Ayton's going to pull a Tracy Murray, come out with a Spurs hat on, or so. I don't know. I don't know.
Your boys are on the clock, though.
The boys. When we come back, the Kings should have Bagley, right? Marvin Bagley the third.
I would pick him, but we'll see if they go with the I don't know the guy from overseas.
The Kings could do a real
with the front office.
We have a great track record.
Vlade smoking cigarettes.
Jimmer
He's
Fredette,
smoking heaters.
Nick Stauskas, Thomas Robinson. Who else did they whiff on? Ben McLemore.
Hey,
I just don't know.
Just picture Vlade sitting in a closet, smoking a heater, drinking a beer.
It's probably what he's doing in the war room right now. We'll be back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Don't stop till they get enough. Keep on. Till fight don't stop. Don't stop till they get enough. Boom!
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
You make me feel so good inside.
Oh, it's happening. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're brought to you by Ken's Sporting Goods. KenSportingGoods.com is the website. Check it out for yourself. Off the 15 freeway in Norco. Make a right on Hamner. It's right there. All of your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jacket. It's going down at the NBA draft right now.
You got multiples.
Multiple. Ring that bell, Jeff. See, I'm so glad we have a picture of the bell on the Inland Sports Twitter feed. Jeff, what was the first draft? It was the NFL draft.
It was the NFL. And
you stayed up all night and you blinged it out, and then you brought it in.
I used my glue gun and my little bedazzling kit.
You went to Hobby Lobby and you got all the little sparkles.
To the Hobby Lobby. Hey, well, we have a second pick in the draft. We have the third pick, and the fourth pick is on the clock. With the second pick of the draft, Marvin Bagley, the third, going to your Sacramento Kings, Pep Fernandez.
Already saw it on Twitter. The new big three, Bagley, Buddy Buckets, Buddy Hield for all you folks out there, and De'Aaron Fox, the big three. Oh, yeah.
Marvin Bagley is 6'11", 235-pounder out of Duke. Also a local guy, plays at Sierra Canyon. Great size and athleticism. Has a great jump shot. Made 23 of 58 threes in 33 games. That's a 40% clip. A good ball handler, can stretch the floor. Very, very tough because he's left-handed.
But Jeff, you rang the bell multiple times because everyone figured Bagley would go number 2 to Sacramento, but now it's getting really juicy. We already have some movement in the NBA draft. At number 3, the Atlanta Hawks just selected Luka Doncic, but he's not going to Atlanta.
No.
Details on that.
There is going to be a swap. The 3 and the 5 pick are going to swap. Doncic will go over to Dallas. Dallas will then get, looks like, Trae Young in a trade among the picks and a first-rounder. So Atlanta will have a first-rounder next year, and they get a top 7 or top 5 pick here in the draft.
What do you think about that, Tracy? Dallas must have obviously loved Luka Doncic to get him at number 3.
I think it's perfect for him. I mean, they're used to dealing with international players. So,
Dirk, right?
Yeah,
Dirk
you got Dirk down there, and Dirk is still there. You know, here's a guy that can create some more shots for Dirk, you know, and for whoever else is on the roster. Dallas needed that type of help, and Luka's going to be a good player for them.
So Dallas gets their guy. They're going to swap the 3 and the 5 picks with the Atlanta Hawks. So the Hawks, in return, if this all plays out, will get Trae Young.
And they needed a point guard. I guess Schroeder's not going to take that one lightly. He's going to come back ready to scrap for that position. But, you know, you're going to have 2 solid point guards with him and Schroeder over there.
Yeah, the German, Dennis Schroeder, averaged 19.5 points a game last year for Atlanta. So Trae Young, maybe they move Schroeder, or they actually keep Schroeder at the point, move Trae Young to almost like a 2 guard.
Go 2 smalls?
Yeah, 2 smalls. I mean,
that can score?
We've seen it happen.
Yeah, Philadelphia 76ers with Snow and
Eric
Iverson.
Snow and
That's
Iverson,
right.
yeah.
And Iverson and played the 2. You know, so you did have a small lineup there.
And don't you see it a lot, Tracy? Jeff and I have talked about this, especially on like UCR broadcast, that basketball's in a direction right now where you've got versatile guys.
Yes.
Like they can handle the basketball. They can shoot the basketball. They can penetrate. Like you've got guys who they're not defined by a position. They're just good basketball players.
Just guys that can play multiple positions. And you're seeing this quite often because the bigs haven't developed and they haven't dominated like they did in the past. So now you're having 5 guys like size, moving and cutting and playing, you know, being versatile. And that's where basketball is today.
Well, with the swap with Doncic going to Dallas, it looks like that's a big point guard. I mean, he's 6'8", 225 pounds, and he's played against some of the best talent. You kind of equated it to yourself playing against better players. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you think of the point guard from Slovenia.
Well, I've only seen highlights on him, and you know how we are about highlights. Give me game film. But, you know, to be an MVP in the EuroLeague, that's huge. At how young he is. There are some people that can play over there. You know, we don't we're not privileged to the footage and a channel over there where we can tap in and see what the talent is over there. But there are people that can play in Europe. And for you to be the MVP of the European Championships, this kid can play.
That's saying something.
Yes.
And then I love going on Twitter because all of the NBA, like the Adrian Wojnarowskis, the David Aldridges, all these like guys who are deeply embedded with these teams. They got sources on top of sources. They're unveiling the NBA draft picks before the picks are actually made at the podium. So we just saw that Memphis, this was a couple minutes ago. Who is it? Jaren Jackson? That the Memphis Grizzlies will take Jaren Jackson at number 4. They haven't even announced it yet, at least according to my feed over here.
And I heard that a while ago. I heard that he had a great workout in Memphis, and they were dead set on picking him. Here it is.
They just make it.
There it is.
Jeff, what are you doing over there, Jeff?
I got my.
You got one job.
I'm blinged out.
You got one job.
I am blinged out. Jaren Jackson out of the big man out of Michigan State, the 6'11", 235-pounder. Physically he's ready to play at the NBA level. His size is there. He's got a huge wingspan. Only averaged 11 points a game, though, but 3 blocks for Michigan State, that great team that Michigan State had last year. He has a tendency to foul a lot of guys. He's been he's a little too aggressive defensively, but will do a very, very good job for that Memphis Grizzly team.
I saw multiple mock drafts, and they said he's probably the best defender that you're going to find in this draft. So if this plays out like we think it's going to play out, Dallas will now take Trae Young, the Oklahoma guard, at 5, and they're going to send him to Atlanta with a future first-round pick for Luka Doncic. Here's another thing about Twitter. Like, all these rumors and things change so drastically, even leading up to the NBA draft. Another one of these NBA reporters. Again, I go with the guys who are always, they seem to always be correct. The Wojnarowskis, the David Aldridges. I haven't heard of this guy, and this was less than an hour ago. He says, Dallas's pursuit of Atlanta's number 3 overall pick so they can get Luka Doncic has lost momentum.
Yeah, right.
He missed that one. Yeah, so I don't know who he was talking
with
to.
that one.
Your source got that wrong. Shams, whatever his name is.
Well,
so got to get better sources there.
Jaren Jackson will be a very good fit because remember, Mike Conley was injured this year. Marc Gasol's gonna, he was injured as well. So that's not a bad big man tandem with Gasol and Jackson and Mike Conley. Those are 3 good players.
Well, you also got Ben McLemore. You got Kobe Simmons, who's a young guy that was with Arizona a couple years ago. Wayne Selden had a good year last year. Dylan Brooks is starting to fit in pretty well over there. JaMychal Green is an active player over there. You still have Chandler Parsons. You got Ivan Rabb. You got some good young talent to go along with Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, and all of these people are under contract. So to have a Jaren Jackson Jr. come up in there when you need a power forward that can rim protect, you got a good piece to the puzzle.
Several players, Tracy, they did not want to meet with Memphis or go work out for Memphis. Like they didn't want any part of the Grizzlies.
Small market team.
Yeah.
And what is there to do in Memphis? So other than
barbecue, you can pig out,
Jeff. Yeah, but if you eat barbecue, what are you going to do? You're going to gain weight and you're going to lose your job. So other than that,
there's a few jazz clubs. That's about it. But who wants to go to jazz clubs if you're an NBA player?
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, who's on the clock? Oh, Dallas is on the clock. They should select Trae Young. Then following them at number 6 is the Orlando Magic as we continue to monitor the 2018 NBA Draft. What will the Lakers do? Will Kawhi Leonard be involved in a trade tonight? Doubt it, but you never know. It could happen. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Inland Empire sports fans turn to the Inland Sports Show.
So you talk to the radio?
On Fox Sports IE 1350.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC continuing our series on building power. Today we're going to demonstrate a speed squat, and there's 3 aspects of this. There's a slow eccentric, an isometric, and a fast concentric. Now, concentric is going on the way up, and it's got to be fast and explosive as possible. So what Zach's going to do, he's going to get under the bar. All right, those thumbs around, Zach. All right, he's going to go ahead and lift off. He's going to give me a 2-1-X tempo. He's going to go down slow, pause, then fast up. Good. What I'm really looking for here is bar speed. All right, that pause. And like I said, we're working 3 different elements of strength, right? We got that slow eccentric on the way down, that pause, and then fast up. This is a great drill. Turn all that strength gain in the offseason to power. So like I said, this is a great drill that actually works on 3 different aspects of strength. All right, we got that slow eccentric going down. We got that isometric pause, that fast concentric going up. So while it maximizes power, we're still hitting 3 different elements of strength. We do it right here at Boost. Today's tip was all about the speed squat, and what I want to talk about is how we progress this exercise here at Boost. So we showed you guys a 2-1-X tempo that was going down for 2 seconds, pause 1, and then that fast concentric coming up. So what we'll do is over time, we'll play with the tempos a little bit, and we'll go from a 2-1-X to a 1-1-X tempo, going down 1 second, pausing for 1 second, coming up, or we'll go with an X1-X tempo with a quick eccentric, isometric contraction, and then we'll come up with the fast concentric. So a lot of different ways that we like to progress our athletes. Building strong and powerful athletes is what we do right here at Boost. Grind hard, stay solid.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Sports, home of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes.
From the Cold Star Ice Studios, it's Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM, KPWK, Riverside.
Doesn't it look like I am ready? I am always ready. I have been ready since first call. I am ready. Roll.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Jeff, ring your bell. What are you doing over there, Jeff?
Sorry, we were talking.
Jeez,
Wait.
Got one job.
There it is. I got my. There we go. Okay, hey.
The big man.
Over the break, we had Trae Young went to the fifth pick to the Dallas Mavericks, and he will be traded to the Atlanta Hawks for Doncic. And then we had the sixth pick. And it looks like a big man out of Texas, Mohamed Bamba.
Mo Bamba's wingspan. What was it, Tracy?
7'10".
7'10"?
7-footer with a 7'10" wingspan, and he has a standing touch of 9'6".
Good gravy.
This kid is long.
Well, you know, he's shown versatility. He's kind of, really thin right now, but they said he's worked on his outside shot. You know, there's been videos of him shooting threes. Not really a shooter. Game situation, a lot different than practice. But, man, what an upside for this great athlete.
Now, looking at this roster, there is not one center that's under contract.
For the Orlando Magic?
Orlando Magic. Not one center under contract.
So Bamba could come in there for the Orlando Magic and play right away, right?
Start.
Yeah, he should be the guy.
Yep.
Do you see a scenario where Dwight Howard got his bought out? Do you see him possibly going back to Orlando where it all started, kind of mentoring this young man?
Why would you want him to? Wait, hold on. Why would
it's like shooting wise, but
if and only if they can bury the past, because he left there under some bad circumstances. So will they be willing to open the arms up to bring him back? I don't know.
But would you want a guy like Dwight Howard mentoring your big man of the future?
Depending on where his mind space is right now as a veteran. Because we've all made mistakes, and he's made some mistakes in the past. But when it comes to mentorship, you got to be able to be vulnerable, and you got to be able to teach the young guy from your own mistakes. Is he willing to do that?
We got more NBA draft. The Chicago Bulls are on the clock, and then right after them, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You know who I think is going to the Cleveland Cavaliers?
At number 8.
That's if he's passed up on this time. I think that's what Porter's going to be.
Michael Porter Jr. A lot of hype. They said he could be the best player in the draft, but the injury, the back problem, is what's scaring a lot of teams away. Do you think Cleveland would maybe roll the dice if he's still there?
You got to roll the dice losing LeBron.
All right.
Yeah, you got to do almost anything to get somebody in there, just because you got to fill that spot. You got to fill anything you can to compete. Not getting rid of Love.
Anything?
Anything.
Bulls are on the clock. The Cavaliers right after them at the NBA draft. And we're brought to you here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Brought by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself. More importantly, spoil your car. Keep it going strong out there all around the Inland Empire. The 215, the 10, the 15, the 60. You know where you're at. And you probably need an oil change. So go check them out. Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change right there off of Alessandro Boulevard, off the 215 in Riverside. So last year, maybe the steal of the draft, Jeff, I know you love this guy.
Donovan Mitchell.
There it is.
My favorite player. I thought he was, if you take Ben Simmons out of the equation and don't consider him a true rookie, I think Donovan Mitchell was the best player.
Hands down.
Just a tough, one of those guys that was, he's like a bulldog. Just doesn't quit. Keeps going at you.
He's a gamer. He really is.
Well, your boy Donovan Mitchell, he's getting clowned a little bit by his teammate Rudy Gobert. And it's all in good fun. I don't think this is like
It's not a diss track, is it?
It's not a Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball deal. But Donovan Mitchell shortly ago tweeted out a picture of him and Kyle Kuzma.
Hey!
Happenstance, the two of them together. Basically saying you just never know which draft picks are going to shock you 9 months from now. Because remember, what was he, like number 22 overall? I don't know what he was, but he surprised a lot of people. He might have been the best player in that draft, Donovan Mitchell. So Rudy Gobert came back, and he looked at this picture of Donovan Mitchell and Kyle Kuzma all nice and cozy. So Are you guys expecting a baby? Congrats.
Now, if you go, Rudy Gobert's really kind of become a pretty good, a good NBA player, great defender. Do you compare him to Mohamed Bamba? In a sense?
That's been the comparison.
Yeah.
The length of both of those guys are unbelievable. Bamba has the potential to be a Rudy Gobert or better if he continues to work.
I mean, probably a better scorer. I mean, he did hit 14 threes on the season, so he can shoot. He can prove that, and we've never seen Gobert actually prove that he can shoot the ball outside the key.
Right. He knows where his bread is buttered. He's not going outside the key.
I love that. Hey, I love doing a pep quiz, like a pop quiz, but it's a pep quiz, okay? As we wait for the Chicago Bulls, they're still on the clock at number 7 of the NBA draft. So we just saw Luka Doncic. He went number 3 to the Atlanta Hawks, but they're going to trade him and give him to the Dallas Mavericks. There have been 5 international players drafted in the top 3 picks, including Doncic. Who are the other 4 players, Tracy Murray, Jeff, and Greg Holla? Who are the other 4 players to be drafted in the top 3 of the NBA draft? International players, top 3 of the NBA draft. I will give you a hint. I would say
Ben Simmons.
No, they don't consider Ben Simmons an international.
He's Australian. What are they talking about?
You're right. He is. But
I think I know
he played
this.
at LSU? Like, I don't know. But he's not on the list. This is ESPN, which they get a lot wrong, but we'll go with it anyways.
Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one, Jeff. Look at the big
kid
brain.
that was at Detroit. That was
the big bust, the guy from Detroit. What is his name?
Luka.
I'll give you. I'll give you the first name. Darko
Milicic.
Okay, there's 2.
The third guy. Give me a.
There's 2 other guys.
2 other guys.
2 other guys, international guys.
Dirk.
Luka's one of them, but there's 2 other ones. Who'd you say?
Dirk Nowitzki.
No.
Top
3.
Top 3.
Top 3. I'm going to give you a hint.
Oh, the guy. Milicic.
No, that's what you said. Darko. Milicic.
Wait. I'm sorry here. I'm sorry. No. There's another guy. It's another something itch. There's another one. It's one of those.
An itch?
It's another itch.
It's not.
Come on, give me a hint.
I'm going to give you a hint. One of these guys was a big-time Laker. He was Kobe's running mate.
Paul Gasol.
Wow.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know he went that high.
No.
And then there's one more. And this guy, I think he's still.
I knew Mark went lower, so maybe I mistaken Mark for Powell, going that low.
I think this guy's Italian. I think.
Gallinari?
He might. No. I think he's still in the league somewhere.
I have not a clue.
All right, I'm just going to give it to you.
Okay, give it to us.
Andrea Bargnani.
Oh, yeah.
Is he still in the league?
Now.
He's out of the league?
Over in Europe, yeah.
So throw in Luka Doncic from today. Those are your 5 international players who have been selected in the top 3 picks. Only the top 3 of all time. Yao Ming would have been the first.
Yao.
And the Bulls.
Selection. Hold on.
Jeff, you got one job.
Right. There we go.
And that one is expected. I thought he was going to go there.
Who was it? Wendell Carter, right?
Yes.
Another Duke guy.
Yes.
Going to the Chicago Bulls at number 7. They list him as a power forward. Now the Cavaliers are on the clock. Now it's going to get really juicy.
Now you look at power forward. They got Laurie Marketing. They have Bobby Portis. So they already have a couple of pretty decent power forwards. So are you going to move Marketing to the 3 because he has those skills?
Yeah, but Wendell Carter, though, can shoot. Remember, he shot 41%. He was 19 and 46 from beyond the arc into college.
He doesn't shoot better than Marketing.
No, he does not. But that's what Marketing is a stud. But 74% from the free throw line. If you're a big and you can shoot, in that range, you're going to be very, very good.
Yes.
I got people texting me because they were trying to guess.
Oh, they were trying
those
to guess
international players. Kristaps Porzingis, he was not top 3.
Wow.
Somebody just asked me, was he not top?
Hey, Stein was drafting, man. They got to be careful there.
Come
on,
Stein.
Wendell Carter, though. Wendell Carter's one of those guys, though, that is kind of a throwback to, I'd say, the late 80s when Tracy and I played. A guy that jumped off 2 feet. He's a 2-footed jumper, powerful and very smooth, got a soft touch. not too many guys anymore have that two-footed vertical jump anymore. Everybody's jumping off one leg for some reason, but he could be very, very good.
I did not know Zach LaVine was a free agent. He's restricted, but I didn't know he was a free agent. They got to sign him back.
Chicago, they went from having, like you said, we talked about this earlier, those Thibodeau teams with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah. Who am I missing? Taj Gibson was on. They were pretty good. They were contenders for a while, and now they've kind of gone in rebuild mode with a lot of these young guys. Porzingis was 4th overall in the NBA draft, so he just missed out on the top 3 for those international players. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, more of the NBA draft. The Cleveland Cavaliers are on the clock right now. What are the odds that LeBron James has any influence who they might select?
0. He's hanging out in L.A.
He wants to stay in Cleveland.
No, he does not. Stop that right now.
He wants to stay. He's going to give him his input.
Boy, you really, really hate the Lakers that much, don't you?
No, I don't hate the Lakers.
You're just happy because your Sacramento Kings got little better.
We got a big 3.
A little better.
We've got a big 3 now. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're brought to you by Ken's Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs. And they can do Letterman's jackets. They can hook it up for your entire team or your business. That's Ken's Sporting Goods off the 15 freeway in Norco. Another good song?
Heavy
Tracy.
D. Is it good to you?
Heavy D.
Heavy D. God rest his soul.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff Gorham. There we go.
Hey, there we go. Hey, it looks like was it the
Cleveland Cavaliers
have Colin Sexton.
Who's that?
He's a guard out of Alabama, 6'7" guard.
6'7"?
Yeah.
Wow, and he's a.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6'2". 6'2", wingspan of 6'7".
6'2". He's a stud, man. He's a dog. If you're looking for a dog in the draft that's gonna go out there and snatch what he wants, Colin Sexton.
And I think if LeBron stays, those are the kind of guys he wants to surround himself with, right? This J.R. Smith nonchalant stuff's not going to fly anymore.
He needs some dogs. There's no dogs on the squad right now.
All right, and then who was after the Cavaliers? We had another pick.
We did?
Didn't we?
No, wait, did we?
Or is that not in?
No, not yet.
Is that Twitter?
Not in yet.
Is that the New York Knicks?
The Knicks are on the clock.
They're supposed to take.
They said this should be Knox, right?
Should be Knox, yes, out of Kentucky. So, again, I go on Twitter because all these guys, I don't know if there's an unwritten rule or the NBA slaps these reporters on the hand for unveiling the picks early, but I noticed the big ones, and I always go back to Adrian Wojnarowski. He's phrasing it like this. The Knicks are strongly preferring Knox. The Cavaliers are highly considering who did they just take? Sexton, right. Yeah. So he's not saying here's who they've picked because I think I don't know. Again, I don't know if the teams have come down or the NBA's come down and say you can't do that. You can't put that out there before we actually go to the podium and make the pick. But he's got it right every single time without saying this is the pick. He's saying sources are saying they have very good feelings about da-da-da-da-da. So take it for what you will. We are talking about the NBA draft here. We got 30 more minutes or so here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM before we get to the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Back in action to open up the second half against the San Jose Giants. Phoenix, the Suns had the number 1 overall pick, and here's how it sounded.
With the first pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton from Nassau, Bahamas, and the University of Arizona.
Is he wearing shorts?
No, he's got grown man pants.
Hey!
Oh, there he goes!
Hey, we got another pick. Kevin Knox has been selected by the New York Knicks and our friend Stein, Mark Workentine, the shooting forward out of Kentucky.
I see you, Stein.
Yeah, he was on the show yesterday. He wouldn't give us anything. We tried to get it out of Zippo. Nothing. Zilch. But a 6'9", 213-pound forward, I guess. He's got a 9-foot standing reach, has the size to reach and play 4 comfortably with his good skills, can play above the rim. He's one of those guys that can help New York. New York needs a lot of help, especially if Porzingis cannot come back from that knee injury.
Is there any chance, Tracy, that LeBron would consider the Knicks? Because if he's chasing rings, the Knicks are not the answer, right?
Only because it's a big market, maybe a consideration. But if you're looking to win, no, I wouldn't if I was LeBron.
Okay, so who's on the clock? Philadelphia? Philadelphia's got the number 10 pick. And
Bridges.
The Sixers are targeting Villanova's, is it Mikal Bridges, which Villanova's a Philadelphia school, right? So this is nice for him to play for the Sixers. What does his mom do? HR?
But hey, this is the pick from the Los Angeles Lakers, if you recall.
Oh, that's right, the number 10 pick.
Oh, they gave him the 10 pick.
Yep. Wait, was this the one? There was one of these that went all the way back to this. There was some trade with the Steve Nash trade, and there was a draft pick that somehow trickled all the way down to this draft.
This is the Steve Nash pick.
Jeez.
As Philadelphia is trying to bolster that really, really good young core of Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. They're going to be good. I still think, though, they need a shooter. They need somebody that can put the ball in the basket.
And Bridges is decent at doing that. You know, he can hit a spot-up shot, and he can play defense. You got a two-way player with him.
So hopefully we will see here shortly.
Yeah, so they're on the board right now, but if you go on Twitter, you can kind of find this stuff out early, and it's all signs pointing to Mikal Bridges going number 10 to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hornets come in at number 11, and then we've got the Clippers at 12 and 13, back-to-back picks. Jeff, you got the bell? There's the bell.
Yes, there we go. It looks like the Philadelphia 76ers have drafted Mikal Bridges.
Just as we predicted.
Just as predicted. Hey, my quick question. I do want to ask Tracy this. I've always wanted to ask guys that, have played in the league for a long time. They went through the draft. When you get that call and you're thinking, man, you've lived with your parents are tight, your brother's tight, you guys are a tight-knit family, but when you finally get that, that you're going to make money situation, what was the first thing you went out and bought? The first, guilty pleasure.
First thing I needed was a car. So I went out and got a car.
What kind of car did you get?
Was it modest or you go all in?
Come on, go all in.
Remember the little Mercedes back in the day with the hard and soft top?
Oh, yeah.
That's a little two-seater.
Nice.
Yeah, I went and got one of those.
See? Yeah. That's smart. Now, what was the biggest thing you ever purchased from your playing day? Your house?
A house.
A house? Awesome.
Jeff's like, man,
damn.
Jeff, if you were maybe you know what? I shouldn't ask you. I should ask Tracy. Tracy.
Hold on. Hey, he's definitely my closest friend.
No, this is about Jeff. Because if Jeff was healthy, do you think he could have been in the NBA? Do you think he could have made it?
I think you're going to always improve. So no telling what would have happened with Jeff up there. You were at Cal, right?
Yeah.
And Cal had a good team, and then they had a certain guy by the name of Jason Kidd that came in shortly after that.
His former roommate.
For a short time.
That would have helped him get some shots. Along with there's another number 7th pick in the draft that happened to be my cousin, Lamont Murray. That he would have played with too, which is less pressure on him, which he could have gotten more shots with less defense. No telling what would have happened with Jeff.
And a lot of coaches, I went up there with one coach, and another coach came in right afterwards, and it was lost in a fray. I had no legs, bad ankle, just kind of dumb luck. But I'll tell you what, I enjoyed my playing career. I had fun. I remember this when Tracy got drafted. I think it was right after you were playing in the league. We were playing in some pickup game, and you pulled up in a sweet Mercedes. I remember this.
That was it.
Yeah, he pulled up right in the Mercedes, right to the front door wherever we were, and we all walked.
It was the college summer league.
That's what it was. And I remember Lisa Leslie was in I think it was Lisa Leslie was in the gym, and I remember everybody walked out to look at Tracy's car, and I was like, man, we were little kids. I just drove up my Toyota Corolla, and there's Tracy pulling up in a nice Benz. No, good times. Good times.
Funny. I remember that.
All right, who's on the clock? Oh, the Charlotte Hornets. And then we got the Clippers at 12 and 13. We're going to take a break in just a couple of minutes. But, Tracy, when you see the Clippers with back-to-back picks in the first round, when I look at the Clippers roster, kind of get lost. I don't know a lot of these guys. They're really young, a lot of unproven guys. If you're the Clippers, where do you go? Do you go big? Do you go guard? Maybe you try to get rid of these picks and get some seasoned guys who've been in the league for a little bit. What do you do if you're the Clippers?
I don't know. I'm looking at their roster right now. The only ones under contract is Lou Williams, this Thornwell kid, Gallinari, Decker, Tobias Harris, and that big kid that we was talking about, Marjanovic.
That's right.
The big guy. Yeah, Boban.
Hey, he's starring in the new John Wick movie. Did you know that?
No.
He's a killer. He's a hitman.
Wow.
Bad guy.
Hey, he's a big.
How to get him on camera? How to get that?
That big
camera?
Yeah, how to shrink it down to where he can be on camera? But those are only guys that are under contract. So, are they freeing up space to try to get LeBron and Kawhi too? I mean, is that what's going on? I mean, here's my question: Austin Rivers is a player option free agent. Did he opt out?
No, I think he just opted in today, like this afternoon.
I was about to say, I know he's not leaving his daddy.
No.
Because it's going to be all bad if he does.
Now, if you were DeAndre Jordan, and think about it this way, he's 30 years old. I think, yeah, or he's 29. He's going to be 30 next year. Do you opt out and go for a bigger deal, or do you sit and you figure he's going to make $22 million this year, he's going to make $24 next year? Would you opt out if you were DeAndre Jordan? Yeah. Or would you?
He's the best. He's probably the best center in the league. That's not saying much because everybody's athletic, rim protect. You know, that's basically what's happening with the centers nowadays, and he's excellent at doing that. It's hard to say. That's 46, 48 million you're walking away from. You know, so if he stays there, he can possibly get the Supermax, which I don't think the Clippers are going to give him.
No, I find it hard because there are guys. I know he had mentioned that he wanted to go to Houston. There was a mention of that, but Clint Capella,
no state tax.
No state tax there. But Clint Capella, aren't they virtually the same guy? And Clint Capella is only 23 years old.
Yes, but DeAndre's bigger, stronger, and I think jumps a lot higher. I think he's more athletic than Capella. Capella has better lateral foot speed. You know, he can keep a guy in front of him on the perimeter better than Jordan, but Jordan is grabbing everything that's coming to that rim.
So do you see that DeAndre Jordan, you know, after all this, the dust settles from the draft, do you see him, if LeBron does not go to Houston, do you see that would be a good fit for DeAndre Jordan?
Possibly. Could you see him and Capella playing side by side,
that would
power forward and center? No one's getting any layups. No one's getting floaters.
But
you're turning into a complete perimeter team if you're playing against Houston with those two monsters protecting the rim.
The only problem I would have with those two guys playing together is I would foul them every single time down the floor.
No question.
That would be the only problem.
But that's why okay, why don't you put Capella behind Jordan? And you have the same guy coming off the bench protecting the rim. You know, you have rim protection the whole 48 minutes.
Yeah, and there is talk that DeAndre Jordan had mentioned that if he was going to go anywhere outside of L.A., that he would want to play in. So
that's his hometown.
Not a bad call.
No.
He almost went to the Dallas Mavericks a couple years ago. Remember, it was the 23rd hour. They basically kidnapped him in a room.
Yeah, and said, "Don't do it."
Yeah, and they
Are you
didn't
sure?
let him
Think
sign.
about this.
Are they going to re-sign Patrick Beverly?
That's another question right there. I mean,
I know he was injured, but he's a little bulldog.
Yeah, he's a scrappy little guy, right?
Are they going to re-sign Avery Bradley, who's a very good defender? He's a pretty
tough,
good player.
Some tough defensive
you
guards,
got some
right?
dogs that are on this on the free agent, like Montrezl Harrell. You know, he is a dog. You got 3 dogs that are right there on the free agent list that are from that team. Are you going to re-sign those guys to keep your toughness?
You almost have to, because really the best job that Rivers did this year was coaching these guys. And if you can bring in a guy that can be one of those top-notch scorers, one of the big free agents, you still have a pretty good team in Los Angeles if you can keep DeAndre Jordan. Lou Williams, I think, is a superstar. One of those. He's an instant offense guy. Some of you know you can get 20, 30,
20, 25
every single game. Bad night, good night, you're going to get 20+ every single time.
Yeah, Austin Rivers did exercise that player option. He's going to get $12.7 million next year. You guys care to guess how many points did he average per game last year? How many think Austin Rivers averaged for the Clippers last year? How many points?
I'm going to go on a limb.
Okay, Tracy Murray says 7 points per game. Jeff?
I'm going to go 8.5.
8.5. Austin Rivers averaged 15.1 points
Stop
per game.
it. Hey, that's nepotism.
Best year as a pro.
Well,
that is his best year as a pro.
How much is he making?
He's going to make, $12.6 million.
God, I'd love to play for my dad.
12.6, 12.7.
His dad.
Wait. Time out. I would opt out after 15 points a game.
Yeah. Could he get more?
I would opt out.
Year.
That's his best year as a pro. I would opt out.
Say, come on, Dad. Show me the money. New contract, right? Contract extension.
If you can't show it to me, convince them to show it to me.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, the Hornets are on the clock, and then the Clippers have back-to-back picks at the NBA draft. You're listening and watching your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Okay, what else?
Hey kids, instead of eating them ho-hos, why not eat an apple?
Stay tuned to this station for another Shaquille O'Neal's Big Challenge Tip of the Day.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to our NBA draft coverage on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single day, 3 to 6 p.m. We are live and amplified with all the big stories here in the Inland Empire and beyond the national headlines. So we're talking NBA draft. We're brought to you by Boost Performance Training. Check them out on Instagram and Twitter. Athletes of all levels and athletes of all sports. Everyone's going to Boost. They got a strength and speed class. Everyone's checking it out. Getting faster, getting stronger. So check out boosttrainingsystems.com. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Ask for him by name. All right, we're trying to make sense of all the NBA draft because there are trades going down, teams selecting players for other teams. It's hard to make sense of it all, but right now, here's what we can tell you regarding the Clippers.
There has been another selection. The Clippers have, I'm going to, just before you go.
Wait, what?
The Clippers have selected Miles Bridges of Michigan State. Now, Pep, explain what's going on here.
All right, so at number 12, the Clippers just took Miles Bridges. The Clippers are sending the 12th pick, which is Miles Bridges, and 2 second-round picks to the Charlotte Hornets, who just selected at number 11, like 1 pick in front of the Clippers, for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So they must have really liked this guy because they gave away 2 second-round picks, which I guess Tracy in the big picture in the long run, 2 second-round picks, probably 2 guys who were going to go to the summer league, maybe get the spot into the bench, more likely go to the G League
or play overseas,
or yeah, you know what I mean. Like you're not giving up a whole lot, right? Or what?
You might fool around and get a Draymond Green. You never know.
That's true.
That is true.
It could happen.
Or Sean Brooks or Matt Geiger, or
it could happen.
Matt Geiger.
I mean, those two went second round in our draft.
That's right.
And they lasted for a very long time.
So now the Clippers are on the board again, and this one's for themselves. They're actually picking right now. So if you saw the Clippers just take Bridges, they're not keeping him. He is going to the Charlotte Hornets, and the Hornets are sending Gilgeous-Alexander to the Clippers. But now the Clippers are picking again. They had back-to-back picks. They're picking again right now. They will keep this one. And Tracy, let's be honest here. The Clippers have the higher draft picks, but it's always about the Lakers. It doesn't matter how good. Even when the Clippers a couple years ago were at their peak and the Lakers were hitting rock bottom, people were still talking about the Lakers.
Yes.
It was always about the Lakers. It's always going to be about the Lakers.
They're going to always be our little brothers and slap them around.
It is what it is, right?
Yep.
So even when Kawhi says, I want to go to L.A., or LeBron's wife says, yeah, we'll stay in Cleveland or go to L.A., it's almost like the Clippers are an afterthought. Yes. It's like, oh, L.A., they mean the Lakers.
Yes, exactly. That's how it's been. You know, Lakers, they've established something over the last 30 years that this is the place to be.
It really has.
I mean, they've had tons of Hall of Famers, tons of championships. They've established winning here in Los Angeles. They have the LA market locked up.
Yeah, you played for the organization. You worked for the organization. Is being in Los Angeles as a player as special as it sounds to everybody who's listening? Or are there other teams that you've played with and you go, I really had a good time there. But what was it? Was there anything special playing for the Los Angeles Lakers?
If you are in LA or New York or Chicago, you have the key to the city when you play for the Lakers, the Bulls, or the Knicks. You can walk into restaurants in New York and you don't have to pay for a meal. You can go to Broadway shows and they'll just hand you a ticket. When you're a Laker, you are now an A-list celebrity. And the door is open to whatever Hollywood, whatever you want to go to. Because you are now A-list. You're a Los Angeles Laker. You're not an A-list as a Clipper.
No, you're a B-list celebrity,
right?
Basically, and that I've always said that's where the The Clippers are like that place where the whales go to die in the middle of the ocean. There's that spot in the middle of the ocean where the whales get old and they go, F it, I'm gonna go over and I'm just gonna go die.
No disrespect, Clipper Daryl.
No disrespect.
And I just remember, when things were going great a couple of years ago with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and those guys, and the Lakers were having like their worst, season in franchise history. People weren't saying,
"Hey, I was coaching on that team."
Were you? So you know how rough it was.
Yeah, but we were still
But everyone was talking about you. Yeah. They weren't saying, "Wow, look how good the Clippers are." They were like, "Man, what's going on with the Lakers?"
We didn't lose anybody in attendance at our games.
That's the thing. It was still all about the Lakers.
Right.
So Tracy, does it bring you a little pride to see them kind of going in the right direction? At least there is a good young core, and we don't know if it's going to stay intact. If they make some moves, they're going to have to maybe give up a young player or two. But at least they're going in the right direction.
They're going in the right direction. They have assets. They can make moves. They have tons of money under the cap. There are good things that's going to happen with the Lakers in the near future.
All right, we're keeping an eye on the NBA draft. The Clippers do have another pick coming up. They had
like
back
20
to back.
minutes per pick?
The Clippers are taking their time. Maybe they're trying to make some moves here, but.
Well, I was going to say, I think Miles Bridges, remember, a lot of people talked about him as being a National Player of the Year preseason out of Michigan State. Remember, he's 6'6", 220, but just a solid beast. Kind of clunky of a player, but so strong. He was one of those guys that you looked at and kind of dominant for the college game. Do you think that his strength will translate into the NBA game, Grace?
I don't know, being 6'6", unless he does a Draymond Green and stays active and physical. I do know that he does have more offensive skills that he can bring to the table. It remains to be seen. We'll see what happens.
Because remember, there was the guy that played at UNLV that was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, first pick in the draft.
Bennett? Was it
Bennett? Yeah.
Michael Bennett?
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett. I mean, he was about 6'6", right? He was strength, great college player, but it never translated to
I
the
really
NBA.
thought he was going to be the next Larry Johnson, because I played against him when he was at Findlay Prep. There would be a bunch of us old guys, Jerome Williams, James Hollywood Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Even Al Harrington came over there and played with us. And we would scrimmage against Findlay Prep. And him and Al Harrington were going at it, and he didn't back down. And I thought this kid was going to be the next Larry Johnson. I don't know what happened from UNLV to the Cleveland Cavaliers to whatever other teams he went to. It just didn't click for some reason.
Yeah, now he's out of the league.
He's overseas.
Overseas?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to slip in that one more Clippers pick. We'll also look ahead to maybe see what the Lakers could do with those 3 picks in the first and second rounds, and we'll get you all set for Quakes Baseball returning to Fox Sports IE tonight. We'll be back at your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Another.
Challenge Tip of the Day.
Now back to the Inland Sports Show. Here's Pep and Jeff.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. If you mention the Inland Sports Show right now, you get $500 off any vehicle, but you got to mention the Inland Sports Show at Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. The Clippers at number 13 just took Jerome Robinson.
Who?
Anybody?
No one.
Anybody? Does anyone know who he is?
No.
All I know is he was projected to go 17, and he jumped up four spots.
Oh, well, the Clippers.
Another guard.
It sounds like a real Clipper move, Tracy.
Okay, they just got a guard with this Alexander kid. They just now Robinson's a guard. They didn't
Austin Rivers
just opted in,
Yeah.
right? And then they have Lou Williams who can play point guard. So they have four
What are
point
they
guards.
doing?
What are they going to do with all these point guards? Somebody's going to get traded. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Jerry West, what's going on over there? But yeah, 6'5", 188-pound slight guy. Very, very slight.
All right. Well, another
So they're looking at
Clipper
probably
move.
as a combo guard instead of a point.
Yep.
The Lakers have three picks. They haven't even gone yet in this draft in the first and second rounds. Tracy, there's still time to take LiAngelo Ball. He's still out there. He hasn't been drafted yet.
Not going to happen. I will not be drinking out of a shoe tomorrow. I will not be drinking soup out of a shoe tomorrow. But our boy coming
I don't think they're going to waste their pick on him.
No.
You can't, right?
No.
I'm
still got Mo Wagner out there.
I'm being ridiculous.
Yeah, if you're drafting Jello over Wagner, you're hurting big time.
You get fired is what's going to happen.
Yes,
You're going to
for
get fired from your job. So the NBA draft continues. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll see what the Lakers do. Was it 25, 39, and 47
You
overall?
still got Aaron Holiday out there.
That's
There's
right.
some good players out there. You know your UCLA guys,
Hey,
yeah.
would that be the third? That would be the third Holiday brother in the NBA.
Yes.
That's pretty incredible.
That's a great family, right?
Yeah,
there.
don't call.
Oh,
he's gone.
He just went.
Come on,
Ring, Jeff. You got one job.
Sorry.
No.
Go ahead. Call it out.
I don't have it.
Michael Porter Jr. to the Denver Nuggets.
They were talking about him. He finally goes, right? Because he had the bad back and scared a lot of teams off.
Yeah.
He's going to be a good one, isn't he, Tracy?
I wish him the best because I saw some video on him and it wasn't cut or edited. This kid was in
real deal,
Steph Curry's camp playing one-on-one against Cat. And Steph was one of the guys that stepped up to guard him. Dennis Smith Jr. was one of the guys that stepped up to guard him. This kid was setting him up and knocking him down. I mean, the next bucket,
Beast.
next.
Yeah, he's the
bucket,
real deal.
Next.
Tracy.
So, I mean, I really hope he's healthy, and I hope that he becomes that player that he was coming out of high school with that reputation.
Tracy, we appreciate the time. We always love having you in studio. Quakes baseball is coming up in just about 50 minutes. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.